On a beautiful 72-degree evening in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, welcome to Baseball Night in America on Fox from PNC Park. It's the second of a three-game weekend series, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the New York Mets. Good evening, everybody. Kenny Albert, along with A.J. Przinsky. J.P. Morosi is with us as well. Mets won the series opener last night, 8-1. Mets starting to get some of their injured players back, but one constant, AJ, has been the play of Michael Conforto.
Well, with all the injuries the Mets have had, people are used to the names Granderson, Reyes, Cespedes in the heart of the lineup. The one guy who's carried the Mets so far, even though they're off to not a great start, but offensively, Michael Conforto. He stepped up out of a rookie year where he did great, hit 2 home runs in the World Series. Last year, 16, was sent down to the minor leagues. Why? To work on hitting the ball to all fields. After going down, having an offseason to look in the mirror and say, hey, you know what, guys? I need to get back to what made me a star on the rise. He went home, worked on hitting the ball all over the park, and he's doing that. He's hitting home runs to left, he's hitting home runs to center, and he's not pulling as many home runs, and that's his key. If Michael Conforto can continue to hit the way he does, they get their players back. The Mets are on the rise.
13 home runs so far. Conforto will lead off for the Mets tonight. He has hit 6 of his 13 home runs in the first inning this season. On the other side, Pirates look to bounce back following the loss last night. One of the young Pirates, 25-year-old Adam Frazier, has been sizzling this season.
The same story for the Pirates. McCutchen, Marte, Polanco are the outfielders you're expecting to hear about of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, Adam Frazier has come out of nowhere, a 6th-round pick from Mississippi State. This guy's a spark plug. He's a baseball player. He hits the ball all over the field, left field, center field, right field. He can play anywhere you put him. He's kind of been stuck in left field since Marte's been suspended. But he has been the starter for the Pittsburgh Pirates. An offense that's been struggling with guys like McCutchen and Polanco. If Adam Frazier goes, so do the Pittsburgh Pirates.
A look at his numbers during the month of May. Batting average of .385 with 13 runs batted in. Garrett Cole, Zach Wheeler. The pitching matchup tonight in Pittsburgh on Baseball Night in America. Mets and Pirates coming up on Fox. What a night in Pittsburgh. Baseball night in America. Pittsburgh Pirates and the New York Mets. The Mets with a record of 20-26. Mets batting order. Michael Conforto leads off, followed by Jose Reyes. Jay Bruce bats third. Pittsburgh native Neil Walker, 2 home runs last night in the cleanup spot. Then Lucas Duda, Asdrubal Cabrera. Bottom of the order, Curtis Granderson, Travis d'Arnaud, and pitcher Zach Wheeler as the Mets get set to face the 26-year-old right-hander Garrett Cole. AJ, our forward keys to the game.
Well, for the Mets, it's Zach Wheeler. He has to get him to the 7th inning. Terry Collins said their whole team sets up much better, especially their pitching staff, if they can get their starters in the 7th. And for Garrett Cole, it's put guys away. He has a history of getting ahead of them and not being able to finish them off. In his last start, Atlanta, they got a lot of hits with 2 strikes, and they fouled off a lot of pitches. He needs to get ahead and put them away quickly.
A record of 2-5 in 10 starts this season. Cole has not received much run support. 1 run or less in 6 of his 10 starts. He's 1-2 in 3 career starts against the Mets. Here's manager Terry Collins celebrating his 68th birthday today.
Happy birthday, Terry. Good for you.
Oldest current manager in Major League Baseball. Well, you talked about Michael Conforto in the open and the season he has had so far. We mentioned 6 first-inning home runs, 4 leadoff home runs. Conforto batting .326. His first-inning numbers this season.
Well, that's a guy you want setting the table for the rest of the team. .481, leading off 6 homers.
Pirates in the shift against Conforto. He'll be followed by Reyes and then Bruce.
The Pirates are notorious for their shifts. They shift as much, if not more, than any other team. And they were one of the few teams when I played that shifted against me, which always caught me off guard because I hit the ball all over the park, and they would shift on me, and it threw me out of my game. So as a hitter, you look up when you're not accustomed to being shifted, and all of a sudden you're shifted on it. It puts something different in your mind. Plus, they pitched me in, which also was a problem for me.
The 2-1 from Cole, now 2-2. Conforto was 0 for 4 in last night's game, an 8-1 Mets victory. He was the only Mets starter without a hit. Now the 2-2 from Cole on the ground to the first baseman Bell. Conforto is retired, 1 away. For the Pirates defensively, around the infield, Bell, Harrison, Mercer, and Freese. From left to right of the outfield, Frazier, McCutcheon, and Polanco. The battery of Cole and Francisco Cervelli. One away, here's Jose Reyes. Tripled in last night's game. Batting just .207 on the season. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off back behind third. 0-1.
This is the guy the Mets need to find a way to get going. They're not expecting the Jose Reyes of 5-6 years ago, hitting over 300, stealing 40-50 bases. They just need a guy that can hit 250 and cause a little havoc on the bases, play good defense, and get on and just cause pressure, put pressure on the other teams, not just going there and being out for in the 2-hole especially.
Reyes 1 for 3 lifetime against Garrett Cole, who was the first overall pick by the Pirates back in 2011 out of UCLA after he was drafted by the Yankees 3 years earlier, but did not sign. One and 2 on Reyes with Jay Bruce waiting on deck. Corey Blazer behind the plate. The crew chief Jeff Nelson at first. Laz Diaz at second base. Doug Eddings is at third.
Good crew. Good veteran crew. Doug Eddings and I have a little bit of history over the years. Jeff Nelson used to live in the neighborhood I lived in, so apparently umpires are well paid, which is good for him, but good crew.
Or you were underpaid.
Well.
On the ground to the right side. Harrison the first. Reyes retired, now 2 away. So 2 up, 2 down for the Mets here in the top of the first against Cole, who threw 31 pitches in the first inning of his last start Monday in Atlanta.
He looks sharp so far. You see in the keys we said once he gets ahead he's got to put him away. So far he's gotten to 2 strikes, and the next pitches he's gotten out. So that's Garrett Cole's key, along with throwing changeups, which we'll get into later.
Pirates again shift defensively.
Now Jay Bruce is a guy they expect to shift in because he pulls a lot of balls, especially on the ground. So he's used to seeing the shift. He's used to looking up and seeing 3 guys on one side and knowing how to hit it through him.
5 for 17 lifetime against Cole. Most at bats against Garrett Cole amongst tonight's Met starters. 4-game hitting streak for Bruce. Batting .250 with 11 home runs. He's driven in 31. 1 off the team lead.
This is a changeup to Jay Bruce here. Garrett Cole is throwing a huge number of changeups this year compared to his career in the past, and it's been very effective for him. He's throwing it to get left-handed hitters off his he throws a ton of fastballs in and a ton of sliders to left-handed hitters back foot. You can see in his last season he threw 5% changeup. This year 13%. So a huge uptick in his changeup percentage, and that's just to get help him out with left-handed hitters.
Lefty's hitting .257 against Cole so far this season.
The numbers for Cole are always skewed because he never really had that third pitch. He's always been a fastball. I don't want to call it a curveball because it's hard, but it's a slider curve, so maybe a slurve is the right word. But now that he's developed that third pitch, it's definitely helped him out with lefties.
Another foul off to the right side.
And this is the thing, again, the keys of the game where once you get ahead to put them away. Well, these foul balls, yeah, they're not doing anything. They're not causing any damage. All they're doing is up and hit pitch count. So every foul ball that Jay Bruce has is another pitch in Garrett Cole's pitch count, which gets into the bullpen early, which no team wants to get into the bullpen before the 6th, 7th inning.
We mentioned the 31 pitch first inning in his last start. He did not last 5 innings on Monday. Exited after 4 2/3. He threw 100 pitches against the Braves.
And 4 2/3, 100 pitches doesn't sound horrible, but after 31, he actually did a pretty good job of getting it back under control. But you'd like to see 100 pitches through 6, if not 7 innings.
17th pitch of the first inning tonight, and Bruce sends this one to deep right field, no doubt about it. Jay Bruce takes Garrett Cole deep, his 12th home run of the season. The Mets take a 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning in Pittsburgh.
And another changeup right here from Garrett Cole, 90 miles an hour, mislocation. You see Cervelli reach back across the plate. Jay Bruce knows right away, bucko blast. I was talking to him before the game saying, come on, hit me a bucko blast. So thanks, Jay Bruce.
His 22nd career home run against the Pirates.
He loves hitting off the Pirates.
The only team he's hit more home runs against, the Milwaukee Brewers, and now Neil Walker with a base hit into left field. Walker with 2 home runs against his former team last night.
Nice homecoming, being from Pittsburgh, hitting 2 home runs, his 2nd time back. Terry Collins said last year when he came in he was a little bit nervous. He had too many people here trying to get too much of his time, but 2 home runs, returning home to your hometown. Nice feeling. Now another base hit. Apparently Neil Walker likes playing in Pittsburgh also.
Well, since leaving the Pirates, he's now 9 for 21 against Pirate pitching.
You always step it up against your ex-team. You want to show them, hey, this is what you're missing, but that's good.
Cole missing inside. Ball 1 to Lucas Duda. Duda with a pair of doubles in last night's game. Cole retired the first 2 Mets, but now running into trouble. Pitch number 21. Missing outside. Ball 2.
Those last couple of pitches, there's been some anger on those pitches. After giving up the home run to Jay Bruce and then the first pitch single to Neil Walker, the last two pitches you can see Garrett Cole just being angry. There's anger on those pitches when he lets them go, missing one in and then missing one high and away.
Into the right field corner off the bat of Lucas Duda. Walker will hold at third. Duda in at second with a stand-up double. So 3 consecutive base hits for the Mets with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning.
And another mislocation again. Ball that comes back over the plate, trying to go away, comes kind of middle in. Lucas Duda gets the head out. The only thing that saved the Pirates a run right here is the short porch in right field and Polanco getting there so quickly. Most parks, this is another run and it's 2-0 Mets, but because of the short porch and the ability of Polanco to cover so much ground and get it in quickly, they have to stop Walker at third immediately.
A visit from pitching coach Ray Searage.
And here we go again for Garrett Cole. 2 outs, nobody on. Now he's up to 21 pitches with more trouble on the bases that could lead to more runs if Cabrera is able to come through right here.
So a 2-out solo home run off the bat of Bruce. Walker with a base hit into left field, and then a Lucas Duda double. Second and third 2 outs for Asdrubal Cabrera. He came off the disabled list on Thursday. This is his second start since returning. Went 1 for 5 with a double in last night's game. Zach Wheeler waiting his turn. Pitch number 23 of the inning from Cole. In for a called strike. Now 1-1. Cabrera batting .417, 10 for 24 with runners in scoring position. He lifts this one into shallow center field. Catch is made by McCutchen, so the inning comes to an end. Mets score a run as Bruce took Cole deep. 1 run on 3 hits, a 24-pitch first inning in Pittsburgh. Lead as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Clint Hurdle's batting order tonight. Adam Frazier leads off, then Josh Harrison. Josh Bell hits third. Gregory Polanco in the cleanup spot, followed by David Freese. Andrew McCutchen bats sixth for the second straight night. Then Francisco Cervelli, Jordy Mercer, And the pitcher, Garrett Cole, as the Pirates face 26-year-old right-hander Zach Wheeler, making his 9th start of the season in his return from Tommy John surgery. Did not pitch in the major leagues in each of the last 2 seasons, and this is his first career start against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Facing Adam Frazier. You talked about AJ at our open. Second major league season, 25 years of age, out of Mississippi State.
What a find for the Pirates. Clint Hurdle said they liked this guy. They thought they stole him when they got him in the 6th round, and now here he is in the big leagues, leading off for him, hitting almost 350, almost into June.
Here comes Granderson after a bit of a delayed start to retire Frazier, 1 away.
Nice play by Granderson. Got a late break on the ball. Nice sliding catch to get the first out, keep the leadoff man on, especially after giving up a run. Frazier gets jammed. Granderson coming in. You see Jay Bruce stop right there. Granderson, nice sliding catch. Good start for the defense of the New York Mets. Remarkable story, Zach Wheeler, missing 2 whole years and coming back and off to a nice start. And he's under no pitch limits, no pitch counts, no innings limits, nothing.
Now facing Josh Harrison, working on an 8-game hitting streak. And Terry Collins telling us before the game, Wheeler can go to around 110 pitches. He said he must be monitored, but as you said, there's not really an innings limit on Zach Wheeler, according to his manager.
Not at all. In the age of innings limits and pitch limits and everything limited, the fact that he's not on one, it's kind of refreshing. If he's healthy and he says he's healthy and the ball's coming out of his hand good, let's let him go. Let's try that. Let's try something different. Everyone looks at these pitchers and tries to, I don't want to say baby them, but they try to massage their careers into something and lead it a certain way. Let's just let a guy pitch when he says he's healthy.
He's allowed only 6 earned runs over his last 4 starts. He's had some trouble in the first inning of games. 6 of the 18 earned runs he has allowed this season have come in inning number 1.
You see that with a lot of good pitchers. The first inning, the adrenaline is always up. The nerves are a little bit up. I don't care what anyone says. Every game you play, you're a little bit nervous. You're a little bit anxious. You can call them butterflies, call them whatever you want. But the first inning, most good pitchers have a hard time. And you want to try to jump on these guys early. And most of them give up runs early.
We talked to him yesterday. Said he feels good. No issues.
He looks good. 97, 98, 77, 78 mile an hour curveball. I don't know what else you want out of a kid that missed 2 years. The way he's throwing the ball and as comfortable and as smooth and as easy as his delivery looks. It's just smooth and it just comes out of his hand so naturally.
Josh Harrison down on strikes, 2 away.
Slider here to Harrison. See it breaking away from his bat. He just runs out of bat. He goes out there on a knee and he's trying to extend his bat, but he just ran out of bat as the ball went away. And just an easy, old school, over the head, wind up, good balance point. Gets his arm out plenty of time, lands in a good position. Bent front knee, which you always want to see, and a good finish right through his target.
So with 2 away, here's Josh Bell. 0-1. Well, the Pirates minor league player of the year last season. Leads the club with 9 home runs and tied for the team lead with 20 runs batted in.
And I don't think on almost June 1st that you could look up and you say, hey, the Pirates leading home run hitter and RBI guy is Josh Bell.
Right. He's tied for the National League lead in home runs amongst rookies.
Well,
but struggling at the plate as of late. Just 1 hit in his last 14 at bats. Left center. Conforto makes the play, so Zach Wheeler retires the Pirates in order on 14 pitches in the first. Sponsored by Sprint. Works for me. Three Sisters Bridges here in Pittsburgh.
I love the view of this ballpark. It's always been one of my favorites. It's an underrated city and an underrated ballpark. If you ever get the opportunity to come watch a game here at PNC Park, it is well worth it. You can walk from all the hotels across the bridges. There's some nice things to do downtown. There's some nice areas, some nice views. Mount Washington up there, we can get some nice Italian food.
It really is an underrated city. One of the nicest places to visit. Ballpark's terrific.
And the city itself has gotten better over the course of my career. When I was first here to the end, I mean, it's gotten better and better. More things because of Heinz Field and PNC Park. The downtown area has really been revitalized, and you see people hanging out and doing things downtown, whereas before they shied away a little bit.
Don't forget PPG Paints Arena. Game one of the Stanley Cup
Final. I knew you had to get
Monday.
a hockey reference in there before too long. You'll be in Pittsburgh for what, like 4 weeks straight here after this game and then the hockey playoffs? And
I'm not leaving. 2-1 on Granderson. He'll be followed by Darno and then Wheeler. I know you have great memories of your first ever game in this ballpark. It was back in August of 2004. Barry Bonds and A.J. Pierzynski back to back.
Well, you know, Barry, that year he only had, what, 275 walks, I believe it was. And you know who was hitting behind him that year? I was. You know why? Because I didn't hit a lot of back-to-back homers with Barry Bonds. So that was special, though, and anytime you touch home plate and Barry Bonds had just homered.
Base hit down the right field line off the bat of Granderson. Into the corner. It's retrieved by Polanco. Around second, on his way to third. And Granderson is in. So the Mets, over their first 7 batters, AJ, have hit for the cycle.
They have. Not one guy, but 4 different guys. Granderson pulling it down the line past Bell. Surprising me he went for third with no outs, but Polanco was a little bit slow. The ball kind of got stuck in the corner over there, and Granderson never slowed down. Polanco chucking it in here, and I think it surprised the Pirates a little bit because they didn't think he would go for third either, but it was actually an easy triple for him. Nice base running, cutting the corners perfectly. And as we used to say all the time, that's a triple, bro. All the triples I hit in my career, I got to hear that a lot.
Not many. You know, we'll find out.
I'm double digits. I know that. I don't know the rest, but I know that I'm double digits.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My speed killed my whole career.
Here's Travis d'Arnaud. His second start back off the disabled list. And the answer is 24.
Oh, look at me. There you go.
24
I never would have
triples.
said that ever. That's the reason why I never hit for the cycle, because I couldn't get a triple.
Including one 2 years ago at the age of 38.
That was off Syndergaard. I can tell you that.
Was it?
It was. I remember that.
Wow.
Darno's a guy the Mets desperately need to not only stay healthy, but to hit. This kid has all the power, all the tools to be an everyday, above-average major league catcher.
He drives in Granderson, giving the Mets a 2-0 lead. RBI number 17 on the season for Travis d'Arnaud, just off the disabled list, and he had not had a hit over his last 14 at-bats.
Well, he needs to go. He needs to go for the Mets. The Mets have believed in this guy for the last few years now as an everyday catcher, and every time he's kind of disappointed with either getting injured or not hitting the way they think he's capable of. But a slider going away from him, see him stay up the middle right there, not try to do too much, and take what the pitcher gives you and get an easy RBI.
Here's Zach Wheeler, 2 hits in 16 at-bats this season. Looking to bunt d'Arnaud over to second. Mets have sent 8 batters to the plate. They have 2 runs on 5 hits against Garrett Cole. As Wheeler bunts, and the catch is made in foul territory by David Freese for out number 1.
Just not helping yourself as a pitcher right there. Your only job is to get the ball on the ground. If you bunt it at least hard at somebody, you might have a chance. They might mess it up, but A pop-up is the absolute worst thing that can happen right there. It just feels like such a worthless feeling when you ask to bunt, you can't get a bunt down. It's just for some reason it eats at you because you think it should be so easy to get that done every single time.
Conforto takes a called strike. Grounded out to the first baseman Bell, leading off the game. The 0-1 to Conforto. Pirates unable to get the lead runner. Moving to third is d'Arnaud. So the Mets have runners on the corners with only one out.
An awkward play for Bell. You see him, he's way inside, and he throws it. And d'Arnaud, by accident, sticks his arm up when you slide like you're taught, and the ball actually hits his left arm. Is the reason why Mercer wasn't able to knock it down, which allows d'Arnaud then to go to third. It's actually the right play. People are going to say, oh, he did that on purpose, but you're taught as a base runner when you go in to slide to put your hands up not only to protect them, but also to possibly get in the way if you're just lucky. And right there, the Mets kind of got lucky because that is at least one out and possibly a double play in the end of the inning and getting Garrett Cole back on the bench.
Second error committed by Bell this season. Reyes at the plate with runners on the corners, fouled back to the screen by Jose Reyes, who grounded out to the second baseman Harrison his first time up. Mets with an 8-1 victory last night, out to a 2-0 lead in Pittsburgh tonight.
Jose Reyes just needs to put the ball in play right here, preferably on the ground, because most of the time he's able to beat out double play balls. But as a hitter, you always want to hit a fly ball so you don't cost yourself an at bat. You want the RBI, and you also don't want to cost yourself an at bat. If you want to see how fast the guy is and how hard they can run, first and third and one out, and they hit a ground ball to the second baseman or the shortstop, you'll find out how fast the guy is, because they will not take it easy and give up the double play and RBI.
The 0-2 from Cole, fouled into the Mets dugout. There's Jacob deGrom, who went 8 1/3 last night.
Look at that mane, lettuce, whatever you want to call it, palo, whatever you want to call it. Look at that. That's got to cost a lot of shampoo and conditioner.
First Mets starter to go at least 8 since Noah Syndergaard last August. Called strike 3. So Reyes down on strikes, now 2 away.
Fastball in, perfect pitch, right where Cervelli wanted it. Reyes knew it right away. Again, all he wanted to do was put the ball in play and try to get the runner in from third. And it's a long walk back to the dugout. Yeah, your teammates will say it's okay, but it's a long, lonely walk back. Those are the RBIs. Those are the opportunities that are supposed to be considered easy. Hey, the infield's back. All I got to do is hit a fly ball, and sometimes it's just not that easy.
So here's Jay Bruce, who took Cole deep in the first inning. Swings at the first pitch. Frazier into the left field corner, makes the catch. Mets score a run, but for the second straight inning, they strand 2. 2-0, middle of the second in Pittsburgh. Budweiser, proudly brewed across America. This Bud's for you. New York Mets 2-0 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Kenny Albert, A.J. Pierzynski, and J.P. Morosi from PNC Park. As Gregory Polanco leads off for the Pirates against Zach Wheeler, who retired decided order in the bottom of the first inning on 14 pitches. Meanwhile, the Mets have already sent 12 batters to the plate against Garrett Cole. Polanco returned from the disabled list on Thursday. Missed 9 games with a strained left hamstring. Went deep in last night's game, accounting for the only Pirates run.
What an athletic figure Polanco is.
On the ground to the first baseman Duda. Wheeler covering, 1 away. Four up, 4 down for the Pirates.
That's the view in PNC Park. Whenever I'd play here and I was catching here, especially this time of night, I'd always have to kind of snap myself back into the game, because you catch yourself admiring the view, admiring the bridges, admiring the buildings. The way they angled this park is spectacular.
It opened back in 1999. Here's David Freese, who struck out 4 times last night.
Ouch.
So did you admire the view when you went deep back in 04?
No, I did not. I was running around the bases so fast because it was off a lefty, and I never hit homers off lefties. So I was more in shock and awe and disbelief that I actually hit a home run off a left-handed pitcher.
In case you were wondering, it was your 35th career home run, right after Barry Bonds hit number 688.
Oh, we were right there.
You narrowed the gap.
We were right there. We were close.
And then you were here for the All-Star game 2 years later.
Yes, I was. And what a great event. What a great show the city of Pittsburgh put on. PNC Park, the Pirates, everybody involved, Major League Baseball. And it was special for me because my daughter was born in 05, and so she got to come. She was young and got to experience an All-Star game. My family all got to come.
Freese draws a 1-out walk. First birthday present. She attended the All-Star game.
She doesn't remember it, though, so she lets me know that all the time, that she wants to go to another one because she doesn't remember the only one she was at.
Well, here's Andrew McCutchen batting 6th for the 2nd straight night. It never happened in his career until last night. And for more on McCutchen, we head down to J.P. Morosi. J.P.
Thank you, Kenny. Around 3 o'clock yesterday, McCutchen was out here with Pirates hitting coach Jeff Branson and manager Clint Hurdle working on taking the ball to the right side. This is the slowest start so far of McCutchen's career, but GM Neil Huntington told me yesterday, Kenny, they're still encouraged by, at the very least, the bat speed McCutchen still possesses.
He's always had bat speed. His biggest thing for me is he's gotten pull happy. And they're out here trying to get him to hit the ball to right field, hit the ball to center field. And as a hitter, I know when I was catching against Kutch, you would throw that pitch right there a lot. And he's gotten into a frame of mind where he's been swinging at that pitch too much, which then gets you to walk off the plate inside. And as a hitter, as soon as you get uncomfortable and aware of the ball in, instead of letting it go like he did right there, that expands everything. It just makes you a bad hitter away. One thing they've been working on him with, you see his back elbow. They call it cranking. Clint Hurdle calls it cranking his back elbow. And the higher and the farther behind your body your back elbow gets, the harder it is not only to get to an inside pitch, but to get to any fastball. So therefore you have to start earlier.
Center field, Granderson watching, it's out of here. A 2-run shot off the bat of Andrew McCutchen. The Pirates have tied the game at 2. Well, I guess all that work early prior to the game yesterday that JP told us about has paid off.
Exactly. Way to go, JP. All that work, all that extra BP he's taken. Clint Hurdle, an ex-hitting coach, they must have taught him something.
Number 7 on the season for McCutchen, the 2013 National League Most Valuable Player, on a 2-0 pitch from Zach Wheeler. McCutchen had been just 3 for his last 26 prior to that home run.
And it's good to see for Andrew. He's one of the best people in all of baseball that you'll ever meet. One of the happiest guys, great smile, off the field, on the field, whatever it is. Andrew McCutchen's been a professional through this whole thing. I know there's been some ups and downs, but Andrew McCutchen's one of those guys you want to see succeed. 2-0 fastball. You can't get a better center cut pitch than that. Head down. He was on time. Foot down. Didn't crank it as much as Clint Hurdle said. Stayed right through the ball. And his power is to center and to right center. So this is a good sign for the Pittsburgh Pirates that he hit the ball up into the bullpen, up into the shark tank, as they used to call it here.
McCutchen, who was not in the starting lineup for the last 2 games of the Atlanta series, Wednesday and Thursday.
He's happy, isn't he?
And then last night, his first career start under the 4th spot in the batting order. 3 very impressive names ahead of Andrew McCutchen on the Pirates' all-time home run list.
Well, that won't get Andrew McCutchen going for.
There's a called strike 3 to Cervelli, 2 away.
But it's certainly a start, and it's a step in the right direction to see him get to a fastball of that velocity and in that count.
And with that home run, McCutchen ties the great Bill Mazeroski for 8th place on the Pirates' all-time extra base hit list.
He had a pretty nice career, Bill Mazeroski. He's a Hall of Famer and hit a pretty famous home run somewhere along the way, didn't he, against the Yankees?
Sure did. And you can credit his son Darren, who was a Pirates scout who signed Adam Frazier, their leadoff hitter. Signed by Darren Mazeroski.
The Mazeroskis were just meant to be Pirates, huh?
Still having an impact.
There you go. I think I heard the other day, someone said that when Bill Mazeroski hit a home run, it was the only time they ever saw Mickey Mantle cry.
There's a street right next to PNC Park named for Bill Mazeroski.
As there should be. As there absolutely should be. And Roberto Clemente and Willie Stargell and all the other Pirate greats.
Stargell and Clemente with statues outside the ballpark.
Now, would you rather have a statue, a street, a bridge, a highway? In Orlando, where I live, Arnold Palmer has a highway. What would you like to? I mean, if you want a Kenny Albert Way somewhere?
That's a good question. The bridge is kind of unique. Mercer grounds out to Reyes to end the inning, but the Pirates have tied the game as Andrew McCutchen took Zach Wheeler deep, his 7th on the season. 2-2 after 2. 8:17 Major League Baseball draft coverage begins 6 Eastern on Monday, June 12th on MLB Network and MLB.com. Garrett Cole, the first overall pick back in 2011, delivers a strike with Neil Walker at the plate, leading off for the Mets here in the top of the 3rd inning in a 2-2 game.
And you can see why Garrett Cole is the #1 overall pick with his stuff. Not only his velocity, but his secondary pitches, his mindset, the way he works, the way he goes about it. That's what a #1 overall pick is supposed to look like, and the Pittsburgh Pirates nailed it when they drafted Garrett Cole #1 overall.
Won a career-high 19 games 2 seasons ago, was an all-star. Finished 4th in National League Cy Young balloting. Limited to just 21 starts last year. Called strike 3. Second strikeout for Garrett Cole. So we mentioned he was the first overall pick in 2011. 10 years before that, he attended games 6 and 7 of the Yankees Diamondbacks World Series in Phoenix. That's Garrett on the right. His father, Mark, is just behind him. He was holding up a sign, Yankee fan today, tomorrow, forever, at the age of 11.
Well, I'm sorry that they lost the 2001 World Series on Luis Gonzalez's just absolute missile of a hit that barely got to the outfield grass. But I guarantee you what's happening when he hits the free agent market, his agent's going to show that to Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman and say, hey, look, guys, we got this guy with this great arm that was the #1 overall pick. And in 2001, he was there supporting you guys. So let's pony up a couple dollars for him here.
And then, as we mentioned, in 2008, the Yankees draft him in the 1st round, 28th overall out of high school, but he elects to not sign. Attended UCLA, where he had a terrific collegiate career, and then was drafted by the Pirates 3 years later as Duda flies out to Frazier in shallow left. You mentioned Mickey Mantle crying following the Mazeroski home run. Do you think an 11-year-old Garrett Cole had some tears after that?
Absolutely.
Diamondbacks World Series victory?
Especially the way it went down. Game 7, they had a lead. You hand the ball to Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer of all time, and to see him give it up in that situation, which he has never done, I guarantee you, if you ask him, if he didn't show it, there were some drops, at least forming in his eyes when his dad drove him home after that game.
The broken bat bloop off Rivera by Gonzalez, which was predicted by Tim McCarver,
yes,
in the Fox booth along with Joe Buck.
And to this day, I still ask, and one day if I see Joe Torre, I'm going to ask him why they weren't at double play depth.
Easy inning for Cole. A 9-pitch 3rd as he retires the Mets in order. Pirates and Mets are tied at 2 as Garrett Cole leads off against Zach Wheeler and takes a called strike, 0-1. Cole 2 for 17 at the plate this season. Cole gets the bat on it, pops it up. Cabrera makes the play for out number 1 as we check back in with JP.
Well, Kenny, a natural question with the Yankees having drafted Cole is, does he feel happy that he turned them down to go to UCLA? And he said, yes, things have worked out great with the Pirates and even better at UCLA. That's where he met his wife, Amy Crawford, then a softball player for the Bruins, and actually Amy's younger sister, Jenna Crawford. They're with the Bruins right now. They just advanced to the Women's College World Series. And big brother Brandon, he's pretty good too in the bat and ball sports. Of course, Brandon Crawford, 2-time World Series champion with the Giants, authored a rather famous home run in this ballpark in the 2014 NL wildcard game.
And Garrett Cole has said, every time I've seen the Giants play a big game in person, they've won. Unfortunately, they won that one as well.
You think that comes up over Christmas dinner?
Probably pretty quickly.
Thanksgiving, they're sitting around and Brandon Crawford looks at Garrett Cole and is like, hey, Garrett, remember that home run I hit in the playoffs off you guys that sent you home? That was fun.
Adam Frazier flying to center his first time up. Cabrera moving to his left to retire Frazier for out number 2. By the way, Brandon Crawford 2 for 12 lifetime against his brother-in-law Garrett Cole.
Well, so Garrett has a little bit of bragging rights, but Crawford just shows his World Series rings, and I think Garrett isn't allowed to say much after that. But I'm sure their matchups also have come up around the dinner table, and if he gets his brother-in-law out, does his wife yell at him for getting him out too many times?
I guess she can't lose. Either her brother or her husband will have success every at bat.
I'm sure she's rooting for her husband. At the end of the day, when they face each other, I'm sure she's rooting for her husband.
Josh Harrison, deep left center. Up against the wall. So Harrison in with a stand-up double. Second hit of the night for the Pirates, both extra base hits.
Good swing by Harrison. Fastball trying to run in off the plate, tucks his hands in nicely, hits it to the deepest part of the park out there by the bullpens. Conforto, a nice play off the wall to get it back in, hold him at second, but just a good swing right there by Josh Harrison. And he's really been the Pirates, other than Frazier, stabilizing force, especially at the top of their lineup. He's really been swinging it well all year. Hitting over 300, getting on base for Bell and the rest of the Pirates.
They'll fly to left back in the first inning. Mets scored a run in each of the first 2 innings. Pirates with 2 in the bottom of the second on the McCutchen home run. Mets have left 4 men on base over the first 3 innings. Harrison takes his lead off second. 0-2 on Josh Bell.
The difference in Wheeler's at bats where he's gotten guys out and hasn't gotten them is he's been behind in the count. With the McCutchen home run, he was 2-0 and had to lay a fastball in there. And with Harrison, he was 1-0 behind in the count. Those are both pretty predictable fastball counts, especially from Wheeler, a guy that throws 95. He's not going to trick him. So when Wheeler gets ahead in the count, you can see right there a defensive swing by Bell. Anytime a guy has 96, 97 in his back pocket, it changes your whole approach as a hitter. But with McCutchen and Harrison, when they're ahead, they're in the catbird seat. They know, hey, I can cheat for a fastball here and not be late and know that he's not going to throw anything else, and we'll see what happens, and I'll take my chances because I'm only at worst 1-1 or 2-1.
The 0-2 from Wheeler, missing inside. Now 1-2. One-two to Bell. He gets a piece of it.
Got a piece of himself also.
Pitch number 50 tonight from Zach Wheeler, missing high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wheeler retired the Pirates in order in the first, allowed a 1-out walk in the second, then the McCutchen home run. A 2-out double off the bat of Harrison here in the third.
And a good at bat by Bell, just for the pitch count, the sheer pitch count factor. Terry Collins, like we said in the opening, the keys of the game, he wants to get Wheeler to the 7th inning. When you look up, he's at 51 pitches in the bottom of the third, still not out of the 3rd inning. He's already caught Garrett Cole for pitch count after Garrett Cole's 24-pitch first inning. So the Pirates have done a good job of getting his number up, therefore putting the Mets in a position that they don't particularly want to be in.
This is the 8th pitch of the at-bat to Bell. It's ball 3, full count.
Good take. Just low. D'Arnaud does his best job he can to give the home plate umpire Corey Blazer a good look at it, but good call by Corey and good take by Bell.
Payoff pitch from Wheeler. Bell down on strikes to end the inning. 3rd strikeout for Zach Wheeler. Harrison stranded. 3 innings in the books from PNC Park, tied at 2. Sponsored by Falcon Tires, the official tire of Major League Baseball. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on the car insurance. Back at PNC Park, tied at 2. Curtis Granderson leads off for the Mets. Here in the top of the 4th inning, he tripled, leading off the 2nd against Garrett Cole. He completed the Mets cycle over their first 7 batters. Fastest team to hit for the cycle this year. The Cubs did it their first 6 batters in a game back in April against these same Pittsburgh Pirates.
I would have died if you would have said it was off Garrett Cole. That would have been really impressive by him.
It was back on April 15th at Wrigley, the day after Cole started a game against the Cubs.
For which he pitched really well.
He did. Only 2 runs in 6 innings in that game.
Curtis Granderson, the ultimate professional baseball player, comes in every day with a smile on his face, acts the same. He could be 0 for 100 or 10 for his last 10. Same look on his face, same smile, same energy, same everything every single day.
Line drive caught by Josh Bell for out number 1. There's the birthday boy, Terry Collins. He's managed more games than any other skipper in Mets franchise history. And he becomes the 8th in Major League history to manage a game on his 68th birthday. Some pretty impressive names on that list.
There's a few guys on there I've heard of before.
Just a few. d'Arnaud, deep center field. It is gone. So the Mets go back on top. Travis d'Arnaud, who just came off the disabled list Thursday, had been 0 for his last 14 coming into this game, drove in a run in the 2nd, and now takes Cole deep in the 4th. A very nice birthday present for his manager, Terry Collins.
Happy birthday, Terry Collins. Just what he asked for when we spoke to him before the game, saying, hey, we need to get Travis d'Arnaud. This guy has all the potential in the world to hit and catch and be an everyday big league catcher, and there he goes. What does he do? He rewards his manager with the home run to dead center field. Fastball right down the middle. Good swing from d'Arnaud. He's always been aggressive early in the count. McCutchen thinks he has a shot for a second and then realizes, oh boy, I better stop before I run into this wall thing.
5th of the season for d'Arnaud, whose brother Chase is a former Pittsburgh Pirate.
And a former teammate of mine. And a former band guy.
That's right.
He has his own band, which is...
It's a fair ball, and Wheeler is tagged out by Cervelli for out number 2. Well, in case you didn't have a time to read through due to the d'Arnaud home run, once again, here are the 8 managers, including Terry Collins. 3 of them were victorious. Leo DeRocher, Tommy Lasorda, and Joe Torre on their 68th birthday. And we send our best to Tommy Lasorda, who was hospitalized this past week, underwent a procedure yesterday in Southern California.
It's funny, all those guys are in the Hall of Fame except for one, Felipe Alou. And you're talking about 2004. Guess who my manager on that Giants team was? Felipe Alou. So maybe I'm the reason Felipe Alou is not in the Hall of Fame as a manager.
And you played for Joe Torre in an All-Star game.
I did.
The infamous tie game.
The tie All-Star game. That's right.
Milwaukee.
That's right.
Did you play for Casey Stengel?
I did not.
Michael Conforto with a base hit into right field.
Although at the end of my career, if you ask some of the younger guys, they'll tell you that I played with Babe Ruth and played for Casey Stengel. So
it's impressive that they've heard of Casey Stengel.
That's right.
So a 2-out base runner for the Mets. Jose Reyes is 0 for 2. Called out on strikes his last time up. Two home runs for the Mets over the first 4 innings. They've now gone deep in 8 straight road games and 19 of 21 away from home this season. Jay Bruce in the first. Travis d'Arnaud here in the 4th.
There's the ball still sitting in the bushes out there that spell Pirates. At some point, someone's going to have to go get that ball. I'm surprised the fan hasn't jumped over the fence to go get that ball yet, but somebody will retrieve that eventually.
Just below the arc.
And that's always been the Mets game, especially the last few years, is hitting home runs. You got to keep the Mets in the ballpark. If you want to beat the Mets, you keep them in the ballpark. And when the Mets hit home runs, that's when they're not only at their most dangerous, but that's usually when they win games. Because with an exception this year of hitting with runners in scoring position, the Mets have struggled the last few years in that category. And this year they're actually leading baseball in hitting with runners in scoring position. So they're one of the top teams, and which is kind of a change of face for the Mets, who have always been known for hitting home runs and hitting a lot of solo home runs and hitting 3-run homers, and now they're hitting base hits with guys in scoring position.
They set a franchise record last season with 218 home runs. Reyes with a base hit into right center, and he is in at second. Conforto to third. So the Mets with 3 hits in the inning, the last 2 coming with 2 outs.
Fastball just down the middle, center cut. Jose Reyes does a good job of staying in the middle of the field, just over the second baseman's head. And as soon as he sees it go somewhat in the gap, he turns it on and makes it easily into second base. And nice head first slide just to get his uniform dirty.
Ray Searage back out to the mound. Ray pitched in 26 games for the Mets back in 1981. Now for a chat with Garrett Cole. You may have noticed the jerseys that both teams are wearing tonight for the 9th consecutive year. Players around Major League Baseball wearing specially designed Memorial Day caps from New Era. And for the 5th year in a row, matching jerseys. Teams wearing these special uniforms today, tomorrow, and Monday over Memorial Day weekend.
I love them. I think they're probably one of the best looks. This and the 4th of July, obviously Mother's Day, Father's Day with the purple, I mean the pink and the blue, but the camo for some reason for me just looks good. Looks good on every team, on every player. The Major League Baseball does a great job honoring the military, and every chance they get. There's only one request I have. Can we get the helmets to be camo, please? Can we get the helmets to match? We have the technology, we can do it.
How about your headset here in the booth?
Yeah, but then no one could see it when they brought the camera on me. You wouldn't be able to see my headset.
Right.
See, that's something I couldn't pull off. Those are Josh Harrison shoes. I was a Nike guy, not Adidas as Josh is, and they wouldn't put flowers on my shoes for me. I had cool things like camouflage and gator skin and all kinds of cool things on my Nikes, but Adidas, when I was with Atlanta, had Malik Smith had flower shoes for Mother's Day, and I couldn't pull those off. But those right there, those camo Nike Hirachis right there, I could definitely pull those off. I could wear those out stomping around my backyard.
A couple of free plugs from AJ.
There you go. I got to be equal opportunity.
You might be getting a couple of shipments this week. Second and third, 2 outs for the Mets. Jay Bruce homered back in the 1st inning. Mets with a 3-2 lead. Now 22 home runs for Jay against the Pirates. He's hit 35 against the Milwaukee Brewers. The 2-0 from Cole.
This is the old unintentional, intentional walk here. 3-0, 2-0 off-speed pitch right there. Yes, lefty on deck, Neil Walker, but after Bruce took Cole deep, he's had 2 pretty solid at-bats. He knows in the back of his mind, hey, I'll take my chances with Neil Walker. 3-0 right here, he'll probably throw a fastball, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bruce has the green light.
Bruce swings. Frazier coming on in left to make the catch to end the inning. So for the 3rd time in 4 innings, the Mets strand 2 on the base paths, but they regain the lead. Home run number 5 this season off the bat of Travis d'Arnaud. The fourth inning, with the Mets leading the Pirates 3-2. Gregory Polanco bounced out to the first baseman Lucas Duda in the second inning. Polanco, Freese, and McCutchen for the Pirates here in the fourth.
That's the way to come to a game on a boat, right? Here, San Francisco. Where else could you do that? Cincinnati.
Here you can come by boat, by foot, over the bridge.
Planes, trains, and automobiles, right? Any way to get here? Look at that. I guess that would be like the Pirates Navy.
As we mentioned, it's a tremendous setting for those of you who have not been to PNC Park. Just to clarify, the groundbreaking was in 1999. First game was played 2 years later in 2001. All-Star game was here in 2006.
Just great sight lines at this park. Everywhere you look, it's just something to look at, something to admire. That guy, I admire his courage.
Base hit into right field off the bat of Polanco, leading off the Pirates' fourth. It's the first single for a Pirate off Wheeler tonight. They have 2 extra base hits, a double and a home run. So now David Freese, who walked and scored back in the second inning, missed 16 games earlier this season with a strained right hamstring. The 2011 NLCS and World Series MVP as a member of the St. Louis Cardinals.
In his hometown of St. Louis, which we were in St. Louis last week. I was, and doing the game with the Giants, and he still has commercials on TV in St. Louis of pizza companies. Which obviously, is a visiting player and coming back to your hometown and turning on the TV when you're sitting in your house or your hotel room and realizing you play for the Pittsburgh Pirates, a division rival, and they really love him in St. Louis, as they should. If you go out and win an MVP of an NLCS and in a World Series.
We talked about Neil Walker growing up here in Pittsburgh. Spent 7 years with the Pirates. Joined the Mets last season. Still receives a nice ovation whenever he comes back to PNC Park. His dad played for the Pirates as well. The 0-2 to Freese. And the Mets turn 2. So with 2 away, Andrew McCutchen, who took Zach Wheeler deep back in the second inning.
Interesting numbers here on McCutchen. We talked about his first at bat, what they called cranking. And what's happened is Andrew McCutchen's been pull happy. You can see by his numbers here as an MVP season, most of his home runs were to center, mostly to center and right. Now all of his balls are hit to left, although the home run he did hit was to center. But the bigger thing for me is that if you look at his ground ball percentage, 37% are ground balls to the left side. That's just too many easy outs for a guy of McCutchen that has the power, especially to center and to right center. If you're Andrew McCutchen, yes, it's easier said than done to hit the ball the other way. I understand that, but at the same time, he's working on it. And because of the cranking, like we talked about with his elbow, it puts him in a bad position in order to get back square to the ball. And yeah, he got a hit last night. It was kind of a weak ground ball up the middle, but then the home run is a nice step in the right direction. You can see the Mets believe he's going to pull the ball on the ground as they have the shift on him.
They must have heard you talking about the 37% ground balls to the left side.
And that's a big number. And if you look at those numbers, the thing that I noticed more than anything is the fact that he hit more fly balls and more balls were in the air. And one of the byproducts of what he's doing mechanically is it does not allow him to get to the ball and hit the ball the other way, because he's in and out of the strike zone, because he cranks it and he has to start earlier and get there earlier. Therefore, he's cheating.
McCutchen draws a 2-out walk.
in the home run swing, you see he doesn't get as big and his back elbow doesn't get as high. Therefore, he's able easily to get to that ball with the bat speed that we all know Andrew McCutchen possesses. So by him not cranking his back elbow, not only behind him, but also up, it frees up his back elbow to, as hitters, we always talk about dropping your hands into the hitting zone. If you slow it down, you see his back elbow is not as high, and there's also actually a little hole in there that when he gets bad, you can see it between his back shoulder and his back elbow. And you see how free and easy that was and how on time he was. And that's the key for a hitter, is to always be on time.
Cervelli takes strike one from Wheeler.
Pitchers try to mess up hitters' timing, and as a hitter, you always try to be on time. And I was always told, and I tell my son, there's only one thing you can control as a hitter, and that's being on time. The rest is out of your control once you swing and hit the ball. But as long as you're on time and you're ready, then everything else will take care of itself if you're lucky enough to be good and have the ball go to the right places. But if you're on time, good things will happen.
McCutchen goes, and Cervelli fouls it back to the screen. 0-2. Cervelli called out on strikes his first time up. 12 years in the Yankees organization. McCutchen takes his lead off first. Wheeler missing high. Now 1-2. New York Mets with a 3-2 lead, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th inning from PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Up the middle, base hit. Off the bat of Cervelli. McCutchen to second, so the Pirates with 2 on, 2 out for the shortstop, Jordy Mercer.
Cervelli on time, like we just talked about with McCutchen. Just hitting it where it's pitched, not trying to do too much, just taking a little fastball out over the plate, actually a breaking ball out over the plate, kind of a hanger, and just serving it up the middle for a base hit. Zach Wheeler, 2 outs, nobody on, walks McCutchen. McCutchen took him deep the at-bat before, so maybe there was a little bit, hey, I don't want to give in to this guy, I don't want to lay something in there. And now he's in trouble with 2 outs. And again, look at the 70, the pitch count, just slowly climbing. And the higher that gets, the quicker the Mets have to get in the bullpen, which is what they don't want to do.
Which they did not have to do last night until the 9th inning.
Thank you, Jacob deGrom.
8 in the 3rd. In the Mets' 8-1 victory. Mercer swings at the first pitch and grounds out to Reyes to end the inning. So the Pirates strand 2, 3-2 Mets through 4. Hometown, Neil Walker of the Mets went deep twice in the 8-1 victory over the Pirates. His 5th and 6th home runs of the season.
What a good feeling for Neil Walker to come back to his hometown. Not only against his own team, but in front of all his friends and family, and hit 2 homers.
How about this, AJ? Neil Walker became the first player born in Pittsburgh to homer at least 2 times in one game as a visitor in this city since Hank Sauer of the Cubs, who did it 67 years ago today.
Wow.
On May 27th, 1950.
So Neil Walker messed up. He was supposed to do it today instead
Right.
of yesterday. How dare he? I have to talk to him after the game. Neil, I'm going to need you to do that for us when we're on Fox here.
67 years ago today at Forbes Field, Hank Sauer homered to left field twice, which means both home runs flew out over the head of the left fielder, the longtime Mets broadcaster, Ralph Kiner. He was in left for the Pirates that day. Walker now 1 for 3 as he is retired, leading off the 5th by Garrett Cole.
There's Ralph Kiner's retired number 4 here in Pittsburgh.
Pirates do such a great job honoring their tradition and their all-time players with the statues of Honus Wagner, Roberto Clemente, Willie Stargell, Bill Mazeroski at various points outside the ballpark.
They have the Clemente wall in right field, 21 feet high, to honor Roberto Clemente, who a lot of people, if you ask, will say should have his number permanently retired in Major League Baseball, much like Jackie Robinson does, because of the influence he had not only in baseball but over the Latino community for Major League Baseball, which obviously has become a huge part of baseball at every level. And you never answer me. What would you like named after you? A bridge? A street?
I'll take a bridge.
Okay, I'll give you a bridge. You can have the 3rd yellow one down.
Take that one back to the hotel after the game tonight.
There you go. The Roberto Clemente statue outside of center field, number 21. Great baseball player, obviously a great humanitarian. And if you ask any Latino baseball player, they will tell you that Roberto Clemente is one of their heroes. As he should be for the work he put on and off the field, and 3,000 hits is nothing to be sorry about either.
Eight hits allowed by Cole, most in the first 4 innings of any career home game.
That just shows you how dominant he's been, because that means at no point in his career through 54 starts.
And this one is sent to deep right field. 3rd home run of the game for the Mets. Lucas Duda with his 6th of the season. Well, the Mets with 3 home runs over the first 5 innings now lead Garrett Cole and the Pirates 4-2.
Garrett Cole looks a little surprised by the way the Mets are just pounding his pitches over the fence out there, and he's not used to getting hit. We just showed the graphic. He's not used to getting hit like this, but especially at PNC Park. Three-two pitch from Cole. Fastball out over the plate, right into Duda's power. He has a hole inside, but if you throw him a fastball out, and I love the look on Duda's face, like, yep, I got you, Garrett Cole. When he hit this, I thought it had a chance at going in the water, but if you watch this fan right here, he stops it. That ball was going in the water. That ball was going to be on a boat out there, Kenny, floating down the river. How dare that fan stop that ball? Take it home as a souvenir.
This is Garrett Cole's 105th career start. First time he has ever allowed 3 home runs in one game.
Well, that would explain the look on his face, like, I can't believe this is happening. Look at that look on Lucas Duda's face. He's like, yep, I hit that one pretty good. That one's not coming back, and I can just take my time trotting around the bases nice and slowly and enjoy the Pittsburgh evening.
Cabrera lines out to the first baseman Bell for out number 2.
Pretty swing by Duda. Little leg kick, foot down plenty of time, drops it in there nicely, full extension, total follow through, great balance. And as a hitter, when you hit one like that, has no feeling on the bat, and you know it right away.
Cole allowed only 7 home runs last season. This year 12 in 66 innings, and this last one, Lucas Duda out of USC.
Ooh.
Against Garrett Cole from UCLA.
Bragging rights. We talked about bragging rights with Brandon Crawford. It's a big rivalry out there in LA, so for him to homer off Garrett Cole, maybe that's why he had the look. He was thinking fight on as he ran around the bases.
Two and one on Granderson, who tripled and scored back in the second inning.
Not a lot of weak contact in this inning by the New York Mets. Clint Hurdle said his last start, 2 starts ago, he went out there and said, hey, I want weak contact. Well, this inning by the Mets, there hasn't been weak contact. 2 line drives, right at guys, and a ball that almost went into the river. And Garrett Cole is laboring, I would say, Kenny. Looks like these haven't been easy innings. They haven't been easy pitches. They've been very stressful, and there's a difference in pitches for pitchers.
Pitch number 93 is ball 4 to Granderson.
Something I noticed here with Francisco Cervelli when they get done arguing here with Corey Blazer. This is what the argument's over. Garrett Cole thinks it's a strike. Cervelli thinks it's a strike. You can see Cole's reaction, kind of throwing his hand up in the air at the umpire. Is that a good pitch? Yeah. Is it a ball? Absolutely. He missed his location, totally missed his location. The umpires usually won't give you the call when you totally miss your location from outside to inside or across the plate. And Clint Hurdle did a nice job of coming out and saving Francisco Cervelli from getting kicked out of the game, protecting his players. Protecting Cervelli and keeping him probably in this game and keeping Garrett Cole and getting Corey Blazer's attention off of the reaction from both those guys. So here's something to look at. See Cervelli tap Corey Blazer's right leg right there. The reason he's doing that is, hey, I need a little bit more room inside. So he's asking him to move that leg back. Corey Blazer sets up a little bit early. So in order for Cervelli to get the target that Garrett Cole wants, he asked Corey Blazer, hey, the ball's coming in here. I need a split second or in another couple inches of room in there in order to make my pitcher feel comfortable with where I'm setting up. It's just an old trick that catchers use to let the umpire know, hey, I'm coming in here. I need some room. Can you just back up or give me a little bit more room so my pitcher has a good visual to look at when he comes inside, especially to left-handed hitters.
So it does help for the catcher to have a good relationship with the home plate umpire.
I never had one, so I can't answer that. So I don't know. But yes, it would definitely help if you have a guy that you're friendly with, and you always try to be friendly with them. They sometimes make you mad like they did. They tapped him. And then he yelled at him, and they yelled back at each other. So it goes up and down, but you try.
This one is ripped by d'Arnaud into the left field corner. Granderson holds at third. d'Arnaud in at second with his third hit of the game. Travis d'Arnaud is 3 for 3 with 2 extra base hits and 2 runs batted in.
Oh. All d'Arnaud needs is a triple for the cycle. He gets one out there in left center of that 410 sign. He might have a shot.
You saw Jan Marinez up in the Pirates pen. Clint Hurdle on the phone. Here comes Ray Searage. Garrett Cole, who lasted only 4 2/3 in his last start, has thrown 95 pitches. He's allowed 3 home runs. Mets have runners on second and third with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
The saving grace right now for Garrett Cole, guess who's up? The pitcher. So in the National League, you get this opportunity right here for him to get out of this inning with the pitcher coming up, Zach Wheeler, instead of a position player. And obviously in the top of the 5th, the Mets aren't going to pinch hit for their pitcher right here, especially with the 4-2 lead. So he does have that going for him, whereas the pitcher's up instead of another hitter like in the American League.
Cole has allowed 10 hits. 7 have gone for extra bases. Wheeler swings at the first pitch and fouls it off to the left side. 0-1. There's Granderson and d'Arnaud. Cole delivers. Another foul. 0-2 on Wheeler.
With Cole leading off the bottom of the 5th, I'm guessing they really want him to get out of this inning. Then they can pitch it for him. Hopefully get something started. Only down 2 and use the bullpen for the last 4 innings to try to get a win.
He strikes out Wheeler to end the inning. So the Mets, for the 4th time in 5 innings, strand 2. But they also extend their lead on Lucas Duda's 6th home run of the season. USC takes UCLA deep, and the ball is saved by a fan. 4-2 New York. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by the Lincoln Continental. Back in Pittsburgh, Mets lead the Pirates 4-2. Garrett Cole, 5 innings, 98 pitches, and he will be pinch hit for by Hansen here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Alan Hansen, 3 for 13 as a pinch hitter this season. Cole allowing 4 runs on 10 hits, 7 extra base hits, 3 home runs for the first time in his major league career.
And he was not happy after that inning, whether it was the strike zone, whether it was just frustration that a USC Trojan took him deep, whatever it was. You can see the competitiveness in him, and the fact that he was being taken out after 5 innings. I think that's also part of it. He wants to go out there and give his team six innings, and I think he knows he has another inning in him because he only threw 98 pitches. But at the same time, you're down 2 and he's leading off an inning. Pirates send a pinch hitter up here in Hansen in order to try to get something started and get him those runs back so he doesn't take a loss. He gets off the hook.
Here's the 1-2 to Hansen, and Wheeler strikes him out. 1 away. Time for a game break. We check in on the Dodgers and the Cubs with Kevin Burkhardt in Los Angeles. Kevin. Thanks, Kevin, and that is good news for the Pirates. They're in 5th place, last place in the NL Central, yet they trail the first place Cubs by only 4 games.
Who'd have thunk it?
Frazier, left field, Conforto, 2 out.
As poorly as everyone says that the Pirates have played, with Marte being suspended and McCutchen not swinging the bat and Polanco missing time and Taillon out with the cancer battle, and they're only 4 games out. They find a way to win this game, they could possibly only be 3 games out. So they're right there. They're not far. Everyone expected them obviously to have a better record and not be where they are, but they'll take it with all the hazards they've had along the way so far.
Pirates won just 4 of 18 against the Cubs last year. This season, they've taken 4 of 6 from Chicago, including a sweep at Wrigley Field.
They're way ahead of pace this year than they were last year.
Harrison, first pitch, pops it into right. Jay Bruce under it, a 6-pitch 5th inning for Zach Wheeler of the Mets. Broadcast is sponsored by MasterPass, the simple, secure way to pay. And by Chevrolet, introducing the all-new Chevy Equinox. Back in Pittsburgh, Mets have scored in 4 of the 5 innings to this point. 3 of their runs coming via the long ball. They chase Garrett Cole, replaced by 32-year-old left-hander Wade LeBlanc, who has pitched for 7 different major league clubs, including 1 game with the New York Yankees back in 2014. He will face the top of the Mets order. Michael Conforto will lead off. The base hit his last time up, takes a called strike from LeBlanc, 0-1.
LeBlanc is the definition of, if you're left-handed and can throw it over the plate, you can pitch forever. All the organizations, 1 game with the Yankees, just bouncing around, keeping the dream alive, and able to continue to get outs at the major league level. And teams will continue to sign guys like this because they're very valuable, especially a guy like LeBlanc that can give you more than 1 inning.
Spent his first 4 seasons with San Diego. He was on to the Marlins, the Astros, the Angels, the Yankees, the Mariners. Also spent a season in Japan back in 2015.
That doesn't count as a, so that's 8 teams then, right? Even though it wasn't a major league team, but traveling all the way over to Japan to enjoy baseball.
Two and two on Conforto, with Reyes waiting on deck, and then Jay Bruce. Garrett Cole threw 98 pitches in 5 innings, allowed a career high 3 home runs. Bruce in the first, Darno in the 4th, Duda in the 5th.
98 pitches and 1 huge dose of frustration, and he was taken out of the game.
Payoff pitch to Conforto, right center. McCutchen, 1 out. They'll come out to the ballpark June 3rd and 4th. Major League Baseball celebrates Play Ball Weekend, supported by Chevrolet, Scott's, and Nathan's. For more information, visit playball.org. 1 away. Here's Reyes. Reyes 1 for 3, doubled back in the 4th inning. Foul territory, just out of the reach of Mercer.
Long run for Mercer over to the left field corner. See him look down. He feels the warning track under his feet, and oh, just short. 1 more step, possibly. I love the fans' reaction, like, please don't hit me, ball. It's so easy until the ball comes to you. Then it always gets a little scary, especially if you don't have a glove on your hand.
1-1 from LeBlanc. Reyes lays down the bunt. 2 out.
Jose Reyes laying down the bunt. I think he thought it was foul because he kind of slowed down about halfway there. You see him, he's already shut it down and the ball's past him. Right here he bunts it. I don't know if he thinks he fouled it off. You see him looking behind him. If you're bunting for a hit and you're fast like Jose Reyes, let's roll. There's nothing that can happen behind you that you don't know about already. The worst thing that can happen is the catcher throws it and hits you in the back, I'm assuming. I don't know what he's looking behind him for.
Don't look back, somebody might be gaining on you.
That's right. I never had that problem. They're always passing me, so. But if you can run like Jose Reyes, don't look behind you. But Wade LeBlanc is in this game right here because of all the left-handed hitters in the Mets lineup. They're very left-hand dominant.
Called strike 3. So LeBlanc retires the Mets in order in the 6th. America Cannon bottle sold between May 22nd and 29th. Budweiser will donate 1 cent to the Folds of Honor Foundation, up to a maximum donation of $1 million on this Memorial Day weekend in Pittsburgh, with Josh Bell leading off for the Pirates against Zach Wheeler. Wheeler and the Mets with a 4-2 lead. Mets with 3 home runs off Garrett Cole. Pirates scoring their runs back in the 2nd inning on an Andrew McCutchen 2-run homer. Bell is 0 for 2, struck out his last time up. Bell with the 9 home runs. We mentioned he's tied for the National League lead among rookies. 9 home runs over his first 49 games. That is the most all-time by a Pirates rookie over the first 49 games of a season.
You think about the great players that have come through Pittsburgh. For 9 home runs in 49 games, you'd think a Willie Stargell or a home run hitter type, Pedro Alvarez when he was here. Doesn't seem like 9 is that many, but then again, for a rookie, you're learning all these things on the fly. It's a good number.
Bell, a 2nd-round draft pick by the Pirates back in 2011, 24 years of age.
And they've been talking about him for a few years now. I've heard his name coming into Pittsburgh. They always do prospect reports on the Jumbotron during the games, and I've heard his name for a number of years now. And to have the 9 home runs in his first 2 months of the season, that proves that the hype is there, and he's living up to the hype, and he's able to handle the pressure. And you see his ranks there in the NL rookie ranks, and he's got a chance there at Rookie of the Year.
Good at bat for Josh Bell, base hit into right field.
Just ho-hum, down 2 strikes, 0-2, The Zach Wheeler guy throwing 97 miles an hour, foul off a couple tough pitches, and just poke a single off the end of the bat into right field and get to first and give Kamara Barti a high five.
So the Pirates have the leadoff man on for the second time tonight. Only the second base hit for Josh Bell in his last 17 at bats. So now Gregory Polanco singled in the fourth inning in his last at bat. '85th pitch of the night by Zach Wheeler, misses low and inside, ball one.
If Zach Wheeler can manage to get through this inning, he'll give Terry Collins a great birthday because he'll be through the seventh, just like Terry Collins asked for. And if they somehow find a way to pull out the win, it'll make everything after this game taste better and feel better for Terry Collins on his 68th birthday. Wheeler in the sixth. If he can just get to the next inning, Terry Collins will be a happy, happy man on his 68th birthday.
Two and one.
Big swing by Polanco. 2-0 right there. He knew he was getting a fastball. Wanted to try to tie the game up with one swing. Big swing on a ball. Probably ball three. And Gregory knows it after he swings. Like, I should have probably let that one go. But that when you're a hitter and you have a good idea what's coming, sometimes you go out of the strike zone because you're like, yeah, I guessed right. Instead of, and that's the difference between a good hitter and a great hitter, because I was a good hitter and could never lay off that pitch.
Wheeler missing high, 3-1.
Every time I guessed right, I swung at it. If they bounced it in the grass, I was swinging at it. If they threw it over my head, I was like, oh, I knew he was throwing a fastball. I'd swing at it anyways. Instead of the great hitters, they take that pitch and wait for one that's even better.
Freeze on deck. Bell with a leadoff single. There's Mets pitching coach Dan Worthen. Full count. You reminded Terry Collins earlier that he was the opposing manager in your first major league game.
He was. He was 1998. I was with the Twins, and we were playing the Angels in Anaheim. It was my first day in the big leagues, or my second day in the big leagues, my first big league appearance, and my second at bat, I got hit by a pitch, and Terry Collins came out and argued that I stuck my arm into it, and I told him, I still hate you to this day, Terry, for arguing that pitch. How dare you question my integrity?
Wheeler wins the battle. Polanco down on strikes. One away, and for more on Zach Wheeler, we head down to JP Morosi. JP.
Thanks, Kenny. And a great story recently in the New York Post by Kevin Kernan about the unique bond between Zach Wheeler and his older brother, Jacob. Jacob is a poet and photographer with a very unique artistic style. You see it there. Jacob went through a number of health concerns earlier in his life. He actually had 7 heart surgeries from the time he was 12 years old. And I spoke with Jacob by phone last night about the unique relationship they have, how they've drawn strength from each other, and how, in fact, Zach learned something about perseverance coming back through medical struggles that helped him in his return from Tommy John surgery.
I love the art, first of all. Something you don't see every day. It's very unique, and the health problems that he had, it definitely helped Zach. When he missed 2 full years, he could lean on somebody, his brother, with all the heart surgeries. And it's a unique story. It's something that, it shows you how tight family is. And if you read that article in the Post, it tells you that whenever Zach questioned whether he could come back, all he had to do was look at his brother and say, hey, my brother went through all this, and now I can make it back from Tommy John and these other problems, because baseball is not as important as heart surgery in life.
Mets unable to turn 2, so here's McCutchen with a runner in scoring position. We talked to Zach yesterday about his brother. Very proud of Jacob and the work that he's done. The middle brother, Adam, who's now 34, was in the Yankees organization for 4 years. He was a pitcher back 2001 through 2004. Past a diving Reyes down the left field line. Bell will score. So Neil Walker was unable to turn the double play, and that leads to the Pirates' third run.
Those always come back to bite you. As a pitcher, you try to pick up your teammates, and this is a dead double play ball right here to Neil Walker. Perfect hop, just a little bit rushed. Does the right thing, though, by just getting the out at first from David Freese. And then you see McCutchen making a hurt with the double down the left field line, and just out of the reach of Jose Reyes. 2 out RBIs, those are the way you win ball games and get your team fired up and excited. And McCutchen, for all the struggles he's had a nice night tonight at the plate, driving in all 3 of the Pittsburgh Pirate runs.
So some unfortunate luck for Zach Wheeler and the Mets. Not able to turn 2. Leads to the 3rd Pittsburgh run. So now Wheeler will look to get out of the inning, facing Francisco Cervelli with action in the Mets bullpen. Neil Ramirez and Josh Edgin. Cervelli 1 for 2, singled his last time up. First pitch, moving to his right is Cabrera. Goes home, and a tag is applied by Travis d'Arnaud to end the inning. So the Pirates pull to within 1, but cannot tie the game. Tagged out at the plate to end the last half inning.
A nice play by Cabrera to stop it. You see McCutchen's looking. Joey Cora, third base coach, is telling him to stop. And he just runs not only through a stop sign, but just, it was like T-ball, run till they tag you right here. And McCutchen just decided maybe he could outrun the ball, which I've never seen anybody do to this point in baseball. And d'Arnaud's happy that he can't run over the catcher anymore, because there would have been a heck of a collision at home plate. The ex-Florida Gator football recruit, Andrew McCutchen. But I don't know what Andrew McCutchen was thinking or seeing, or he clearly didn't pick up his third base coach.
A terrific awareness by Cabrera, who looked towards first, faked the throw, and then
Cabrera knew what he was doing. Cabrera knew exactly what he was doing when he caught that ball. You could see he was watching McCutchen the whole way. He wasn't even looking at first base.
So Neil Walker leading off for the Mets against LeBlanc, falls behind 0-2.
I actually think Cabrera was just hoping he'd round the base far enough so he could back pick him. He never expected that McCutchen would just keep going to home plate. Here's the high camera. The play by Cabrera, first of all, you see Joey Cora right here telling Andrew McCutchen, hey, on the base, the ball's right there. Don't go, stay right here. Andrew McCutchen clearly not looking at him, looking at left field over his right shoulder, which I don't know what you're doing. And Joey Cora will get blamed for that, but that's not his fault. He did everything right, and Cabrera did everything right in almost baiting McCutchen to keep going. Okay.
Neil Walker 1 for 3 tonight. The 1-2 from LeBlanc. You know, we've been talking about Roberto Clemente throughout the broadcast. Walker's father, Tom, who was a pitcher for the Pirates, along with several other players while playing winter ball in Puerto Rico, actually helped load the plane with Roberto Clemente as Walker strikes out back on New Year's Eve '72, and he was scheduled to be on the flight. Walker's dad, Tom, and Roberto Clemente told him it was not necessary to make the trip to deliver the supplies to survivors of the Nicaragua earthquake. So Neil Walker's dad was actually scheduled to be on that plane with Roberto Clemente.
Just a sad story for Roberto Clemente, and shows what a humanitarian he was, and also by saying, hey, you don't have to be on this plane, I'll take care of it. Neil Walker, probably every time he looks up at the statue at number 21, has to thank a whole lot of things, that he wasn't on that plane and he has a father around and was able to share time with him because of Roberto Clemente's generosity.
And Neil wears number 20 in honor of his father. His father, Tom.
Heck, if I had a father that played Major League Baseball, I'd wear the same number too. That's pretty cool. I mean, unless you're Ken Griffey Jr. and you just become a Hall of Famer, so I guess you can say you're better than your dad at something. But
right.
Then you can wear whatever number you want, but especially when you go back to back with your dad in the same game.
Neil Walker could not wear number 20 here in Pittsburgh because it is retired for Pie Trainer.
Old Pie. Good player. One of my favorites growing up.
Got his poster on your wall?
Had his fat head on my wall.
And here's Lucas Duda, who wears Roberto Clemente's number. He grounds out to the second baseman Harrison for out number 2. So with 2 away, here's Cabrera, who made that play moments ago. To throw out McCutchen at the plate.
No worse feeling than getting deked by a infielder or an outfielder or anything, especially when you're the base runner, you're the potential tying run, and to get thrown out like that, it's a bad feeling. You're standing out in center field thinking about it. Oh, if only I would have stopped.
First pitch fouled off to the right side. Grip the Moment, sponsored by Falcon Tires, the official tire of Major League Baseball.
Cabrera knows
did not
as soon as he
go
goes
to
into
first, and he will retire McCutchen.
As soon as he went into the slide, he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that he was trying to get McCutchen just around the base, and it worked.
And now Cabrera grounds out to Mercer, so LeBlanc has retired 6 in a row in 2 innings in relief of Garrett Cole. 7th inning stretch time. Thursday night across town, the Pittsburgh Penguins in double overtime, defeating the Ottawa Senators to advance to their second straight Stanley Cup final. They won the Cup last June. And we'll get underway this Monday night against the Nashville Predators. Here's what Andrew McCutchen tweeted just after the Chris Kunitz goal in double overtime on Thursday.
I don't know if I'm ever okay with peeing my pants, but you go, Kutch.
And many of the Penguins are big hockey fans. Some have become fans recently, including Juan Nicasio. That's Juan in the middle. Pirates relief pitcher, along with Adam Frazier and Juan's cousin Richard, at a playoff game last month.
I was fortunate enough to go to the 2010 finals when the Blackhawks hadn't won for a long time, and what a scene and what an experience to be able to go to the Stanley Cup finals, and especially in Chicago, a town that hadn't won it in so long, and then to hear that when they play the anthem, I'm sure you know well, when everyone stands and cheers for the entire anthem, it literally brings goosebumps.
Jim Cornelison.
That's right.
A 1-1 to Jordy Mercer. So Eric Karros is in our studio tonight with Kevin Burkhardt. I worked a game with Eric in Chicago that June. On a Friday, the Blackhawks held their parade, their Stanley Cup parade in 2010. We had a Fox broadcast the next day, and we were eating dinner along with Chris Rose and some of our other colleagues that night. And the Blackhawks coaching staff came into the restaurant with the Stanley Cup.
Did you drink out of it?
We had dessert with it.
There you go. There you go. I can say one of the best trophies in all of sports, just because of the history, and you know all the guys that are on there, their names are all on it, and just every place that trophy has been. It is without a doubt probably the coolest trophy in all of sports.
Did you drink out of it?
I have. We had one day in Chicago where we had all 4 major sports trophies. It's not called USA, or it's not called Comiskey anymore, but we had the Stanley Cup.
Here's a drive down the left field line, and it bounces away from Conforto. So a leadoff double for Jordy Mercer here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Three-two pitch. Fastball up. Mercer brings his hands in nicely. Conforto tries to get there, slides because he knows the wall's coming. Just short, bounces over. Easy ground rule double. Mercer trots into second.
With Jose Osuna pinch hitting for the Pirates. Down to JP.
Well, Kenny, certainly loud here on the field after the Mercer double, but you and I were both there in Nashville this week, Kenny. Not sure there's a louder building any sport on this continent than Nashville and Bridgestone Arena.
No, you're right, JP. Tremendous atmosphere in Nashville. A slow roller to the shortstop Cabrera. Fires across to retire Osuna.
Nice play by Cabrera, but better base running by Jordy Mercer. Typically, you want the hitter Ozuna to hit the ball to the right side, but Mercer reads the play right away as a slow roller that he knows that he can get to third on, and you want to be at third with less than 2 outs for Frazier to opportunity to drive you in without having to get a hit. So great base running right here by Jordy Mercer to get to third on a slow roller to the shortstop, a ball that's actually in front of him that you're taught normally to go back to second, but he got the great read and advanced to third.
Here comes Terry Collins. So Neil Ramirez in his 4th appearance as a Met faces 2 batters. Here comes Jerry Blevins from the Mets pen. Mets. The veteran left-hander Jerry Blevins on to face Adam Frazier. Wilmer Flores in at first base on the double switch. Infield in. Mercer takes his lead off third. Strike one to Frazier, who is 0 for 3 tonight. The 0-1 from Blevins. 0-2.
That's Blevins' out pitch, the slow curveball. You see it so well as a hitter, and you just cannot lay off of it. It looks so meaty. You just want to swing at it and hit it so far. And its speed difference is so great that you just have a hard time squaring it up. There it was again, a little bit harder and a little bit more outside, so it was an easy take for Frazier. The Mets love using their bullpen, as do all of Major League Baseball teams at this point.
The 2-2 from Blevins. And he wins the battle. Frazier down on strikes for out number 2.
Another slow curveball here to get Frazier. See, it starts in the strike zone and just breaks away, and Frazier cannot wait long enough. He's very out in front because of not only the break, but the speed is what gets him. He tries to slow it down, and he runs out of bat. He tries to extend his body just to get a piece of it, but he couldn't do it.
So with 2 away, here's Harrison. 1 for 3, doubled back in the 3rd inning.
And Blevins over the last couple of years has become one of the most dependable relievers, especially against left-handed hitters. We showed the stat about inherited runners, and for me, that's one of the biggest stats for a relief pitcher. Can you come into a game with the game on the line like tonight and keep that runner at third with 1 out and not have him score? That's what a relief pitcher's job is most of the time, because they don't always come in, unless you're the closer in a clean inning, to get 3 outs. You come in to get a big out in a big situation with the game on the line. Can you do it, and can you do it consistently and over a period of time? And if you can, you become a great reliever.
Josh Bell waiting on deck. Should Harrison reach?
And that's in Blevins and Darno's mind. They know who's on deck. They know how hot Harrison's been, how well he's swinging the bat, and they're being very, very careful. I'm actually somewhat surprised that they threw him that good of a pitch to hit 3-0, because we saw earlier in the game when Jay Bruce swung 3-0. I'm surprised Harrison wasn't given the 3-0 green light right there to possibly drive in the tying run.
The 3-1 from Blevins, missing away. Ball 4 to Harrison. Pirates with runners on the corners. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A visit from catcher Travis d'Arnaud, as well as the pitching coach Dan Worthen.
Walker and d'Arnaud talking about the signs first and third, wondering, hey, if Harrison takes off, are we throwing? Are we possibly not throwing? Are we pump faking like Cabrera did in the inning before to hopefully get the runner at third? Or are we just not throwing and letting the guy take second base and putting another runner in scoring position? Josh Bell, much better left-handed hitter through average, and the Mets know these numbers, hence the reason why they basically pitched around Josh Harrison to get to Bell in this situation when Blevins on the mound. They know those numbers. Those numbers are posted everywhere in the dugout, in Terry Collins' hand.
Mercer the runner on third, Harrison over at first. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. Mets with a 4-3 lead. .1-0 from Blevins. In for a called strike, 1-1.
First 2 pitches off speed to Bell. And even though they pitched around Harrison to get to Bell, there's also another lefty on deck in Gregory Polanco. And they know that. And even though first base isn't open, there still is an empty base at second. So they still have room here to not give in to Bell because they know who's on deck.
Cabrera gets the out at second to end the inning. So the Pirates strand 2. We head to the 8th. Mets lead by a run. Mets with 3 home runs tonight. In the first inning, it was Jay Bruce, a solo shot off Garrett Cole. 4th inning, Travis d'Arnaud, his 5th of the season. And then in the 5th, the USC Trojan, Lucas Duda off the UCLA Bruin, Garrett Cole. 3 solo home runs hit by the New York Mets. Our Budweiser game summary, Zach Wheeler pitched well, went 6 innings, allowed 3 runs on 7 hits, struck out 5. A career-high 3 home runs allowed by Cole. And Andrew McCutchen batting out of the 6th spot for the 2nd consecutive night, and 2nd time in his career has driven in all 3 Pirate runs.
He wants to get out of that 6 hole, hitting homers and driving in 3. They're going to have to move him back up.
That's right. Here's Curtis Granderson leading off for the Mets in the 8th against the 30-year-old right-hander Juan Nicasio, third Pirates pitcher of the evening. 23rd appearance. Granderson tripled and scored back in the second inning. Walked his last time up in the fifth.
Nicasio, a jack of all trades for the Pirates, was a starter last year. Now he's a reliever. He kind of pitches the 8th inning. When they're behind, he can pitch more than 1 inning. Known for his slider.
The Mets with the 3 home runs, and we mentioned they set a franchise record last year. Still without Yoenis Cespedes, who was placed on the disabled list in late April, a month ago. And he took part in his first rehabilitation game yesterday. Played 6 innings, went 0 for 2 with a walk at the plate. He was scheduled to play again today, but according to reports, was not in the lineup for St. Lucie. As Granderson strikes out, a tweet from Mets beat writer Mark Carrig. Cespedes felt soreness in his right quad after running the bases last night.
Well, at least it wasn't his hammy again. It was his quad this time. So when Cespedes does come back, whenever that is, who's out? Conforto you can't take out. Jay Bruce you can't take out. You can't take Granderson out, do you? Unless you want Cespedes again to play center field, and they tried that already. So it's going to be fun for Terry Collins to try to juggle guys in order to keep everyone fresh and get everyone enough at bats.
Strike 1 to d'Arnaud, who is 3 for 3 with a single, a double, and a home run. d'Arnaud has driven in 2 runs tonight.
I'm kind of rooting for a triple here. Not that I'm rooting against the Pirates or for a team or another team, but cycles, you don't get the opportunity to hit for the cycle very often. So when you do, or when you're watching, I've had it hit against me and I've had it hit in guys on my team. You're always rooting for that guy to get the cycle.
d'Arnaud needs a triple.
And that's not a triple.
It is not. Our statistician Marty Aronoff tells us no Mets catcher has ever hit for the cycle. Now 2 away as we head down to J.P. Morosi for more on Yoenis Cespedes.
Yes, Kenny, a brief update from the team. Yes, it was quad soreness for Cespedes last night. He will not take any live at-bats until Tuesday at the earliest and will remain there in Port St. Lucie for the time being.
All right, thanks very much, JP. Here's Wilmer Flores, who entered the game prior to the last half inning on the double switch.
So if he's not doing anything until Tuesday, that backs him up at least another week to 10 days. So we're not looking at a Cespedes sighting in New York for till the June, at least at the earliest, because he's going to need at least 3 to 4 or 5 games, right, to play and make sure that his quad and hammy are both okay.
Flores down on strikes, so Nicasio strikes out the side in the top of the 8th. telecast is sponsored by the all-new Chrysler Pacifica, imported from Detroit, and by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Bottom of the 8th inning in Pittsburgh. Kenny Albert, A.J. Pierzynski, J.P. Morosi. There's Gregory Polanco. He will lead off for the Pirates against Jerry Blevins. With the Mets leading the Pirates 4-3. Strike one to Polanco, who is 1 for 3 tonight. Pirates have had great opportunities to tie the game in each of the last 2 innings. McCutchen thrown out at the plate to end the 6th. And they had a runner on third, Mercer, with 1 out in the 7th and could not score.
And those are the runs you need to score as a team that's been struggling here early in the season. When you get those opportunities, especially with the runner on third and less than 2 outs, those are the runs that you need to drive in. You need to find a way to score those runs.
Pirates have had their issues, AJ, scoring here at home in the late innings.
That's odd because this has always been a part where they've had great success walking teams off and getting those big hits in the late innings and creating excitement for not only their team but for the fans here, and they've come to expect them to score those runs in the late innings, and for some reason this year they just haven't.
In their last series on the road at Atlanta, they scored 26 runs over their last 3 games, but only 1 run last night. 3 so far tonight. They trail the Mets by a run.
Well, you can throw the game last night out because Jacob deGrom had his stuff and had his game going, so you can take that game and just kind of wash it away as a player and as a Pittsburgh Pirate, just say, oh, the guy was good. But tonight they've had opportunities, and that's the frustrating ones, is when you have all these opportunities, you have the ability to score more than 3 runs, and you get a guy banged on the plate on a questionable base running call, and then have a runner on third with 1 out and your hottest hitter up and not scoring.
David Freese on deck.
This should be Blevins' last hitter. Righties due up after Polanco. Blevins is mainly a left-handed specialist, and action in the bullpen for the Mets.
Payoff pitch from Blevins. Up loop, foul territory. Reyes, 1 out. Here comes Terry Collins. Heading for a chat with the home plate umpire Corey Blazer. Looks like another double switch. You had a look at Fernando Salas in the Mets pen. Over the Pittsburgh Pirates. MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get club-branded home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Interesting matchup with Fernando Salas facing David Freese. They were teammates with the St. Louis Cardinals, and they were traded together to the Angels, Salas and Freese, in exchange for Peter Borges and Randall Grichuk. Now facing one another with one out, bottom of the 8th inning.
And the only one left on their original team is Randall Grichuk, in that trade, that is.
And
it's still there.
Juan Lagares, who enters the game on the double switch in center field. Freese facing his former teammate in 2 spots for the first time. Diving play is made by Walker, and Freese is retired.
Nice play, Neil Walker. All those cheers you were hearing before, Pittsburgh fans are going to start to hate you if you keep hitting 2 homers and making plays like this in the 8th inning. Full extension by Neil Walker. All the way out. Nice first step. The easy part was making the throw, but when you see a guy full extension as a hitter and you see him come up with it, all you can do is tip your cap and go back to the dugout. But nice play, Neil Walker.
So with 2 away, here's McCutchen, who has driven in all 3 Pirate runs. A 2-run homer in the 2nd off Zach Wheeler. A run-scoring double in the 6th off Wheeler. The 0-1 from Salas. Center field. Lagares back on the track, up against the wall. He makes the catch to end the inning. So McCutchen comes that close to homering for the 2nd time tonight. We head to the 9th. By KFC's new spicy crispy Zinger chicken sandwich. It's finger looking good. And by Zyzal. For continuous 24-hour allergy relief, take new Zyzal.
I love Zyzal. I take it every night. I have bad allergies. I'm allergic to grass, and I played baseball for a living, so figure that one out.
Yeah, that's not a good combo.
So for years, I've taken that before it was over the counter. When it was prescription, I've been prescribed that for years.
Well, tonight you might be as far away from the grass than you have ever been in a Major League ballpark.
That's true. If I get much higher, we'll be in the lights.
So we're helping out the allergies tonight. Felipe Rivero on to pitch the ninth for the Pirates, who trail by a run. Michael Conforto leads off for the Mets and takes a called strike, 0-1.
Rivero having a tremendous year. Always had the arm talent, always had the ability to do what he's doing, and now he's just kind of putting it all together. And 100 mile an hour from a lefty is tough. 101 just for fun.
Mets with runs in the first, second, fourth, and fifth innings. Home runs accounting for 3 of their 4 runs tonight. Deflects away from Rivero. And then Conforto is retired.
Last season, Rivero, he's known as a tipper. You know, always noticed this when he first came up with the Nationals. You see the line where he goes high with his glove, and then you see how low he goes here on 2 different pitches. Now, one of these will be a fastball, the one on the left, he goes higher. And then on the right, it's slower, and it's an off-speed or a breaking ball. Now, as hitters, people at home might be saying, can you really notice that? Absolutely, you notice that. And this year, he's fixed that, and therefore, you look up, he's throwing 100 miles an hour, no one can touch him. Because you know what? Big league hitters are a lot better when they know what's coming. So if you tell a big league hitter, and you can show a big league hitter, even if it's a little bit late like that, but it's so obvious, you can make an adjustment as a hitter and say, okay, I know a fastball's coming, or I know a breaking ball's coming, and you lay off the breaking ball until you get to 2 strikes, and then you have to swing at it. But before that, you can just gear up for 100, and when you guess right, you're right, and you know it's coming, and you're ready to hit it.
So how quickly can you pick that up as an opposition player?
We have video guys, as Corey Blazer takes one off his shin guard at 101. You have a video guy, or 2. A lot of teams employ 2 video guys, and one of those guys watches every pitcher, and he'll come before the game when you have a team meeting or a hitters meeting, and you go over every pitcher, and he'll say, hey, this guy possibly is tipping, come look at this. Or when you go in to watch video before the game, the video guy will say, hey, take a look at this and see if you see this, and if it's too late, because sometimes they'll tip and it's too late. So you can pick it up, and as long as you have a heads up and you watch it, every guy's different. Some guys don't want to know what's coming, which I never understood why, because if I know a 79 mile an hour slider's coming or 101 fastball's coming, I'd much rather know that than not know. So it helps. It definitely helps. It helped me for a long time, and there's always something, and we have a saying, once a tipper, always a tipper. So he might not be doing that now, but he's going from the windup now, which is different than when he used to go out of the stretch, which is where he gave it away.
Rivero has allowed only 2 earned runs in 25 1/3 this season. 1-1 on Jay Bruce, who gave the Mets a 1-0 lead with his solo home run off Cole back in the first inning.
You see him going out of the windup now, and from what they've said, the Pirates have said, they caught it in spring training and they noticed it, and he's now messing with the hitters. So he's changed his whole thing, messing with them, because he knows, he's been told, hey, you're doing this or you're doing that. So now he just changes it. So as a hitter, all it takes is one time. If you're messed up one time by the pitcher doing what you're not expecting, you'll forget about it and you'll move on, and you'll just go up there and try and hit 100 mile an hour from a left-handed pitcher that, oh yeah, by the way, has a nasty slider.
So Bruce strikes out. The last 13 Mets have been retired, but they lead 4-3 as we head to the bottom of the ninth. lead the Pirates 4-3 as we head downstairs, check in with JP.
Thanks, Kenny. Some great news this evening for the Pirates. Just 3 weeks after being diagnosed with testicular cancer, Jameson Taillon tomorrow pitches a rehab start at Double-A. The Pirates, Kenny, cautiously optimistic he'll be back at some point in time this season. A remarkable story for Jameson Taillon.
Thanks, JP. That is certainly great news for Jameson and the Pirates.
Tremendous news for Mr. Taillon and his whole family, that he's going to be able to come back and pitch, and that hopefully he's healthy and can beat cancer. And great news for the Pittsburgh Pirates organization also, but more importantly for the young man and his family.
Pitched a couple of bullpen sessions earlier this week in Atlanta.
He said he feels great.
He does. And he'll be back on the mound tomorrow, as JP reported. Francisco Cervelli steps in against the Mets' fourth relief pitcher of the night, Addison Reed, who looks to close things out. Zach Wheeler in line for the win. Pitched 6 innings, allowed 3 runs on 7 hits. Cervelli 2 for 3. Has singled his last 2 times up. Cervelli 1 for 2 lifetime against Reed, with Mercer waiting on deck. The 1-1. Now 1-2.
Reed kind of crossfires, so meaning he steps towards a right-handed batter and throws across his body, which makes him effective against right-handed hitters because he hides the ball. See how it looks like the ball is coming almost behind Cervelli. So guys don't pick it up right away, and they're a little bit late, and Cervelli fouls it off on a fastball that was normally a good pitch to hit.
Center field, Lagares back on the track, and he makes the play up against the wall. So the second straight Pirates batter flies out to the center fielder Lagares, up against the wall in center field. McCutchen to end the 8th inning, and now Cervelli to start the 9th.
Cervelli squares this ball up. Lagares with a great jump off the bat. He knows where the wall is. He feels it. He jumps. That's how you win Gold Gloves, Juan Lagares. That's why they put you in late in the games as a defensive replacement, and that's why you've won a Gold Glove in the past, because you're not afraid of the wall. You make the plays when you need to. And the Pittsburgh Pirates right now are just going back to the dugout shaking their heads because they continue to square balls up, hit balls hard, and they're being caught all over the yard.
Lagares winning the Gold Glove back in 2014. Mercer 2 for 3, doubled his last time up and was stranded on third base back in the 7th inning.
I always love the look on outfielders' faces when they hit the wall like that. They know it's coming. You can just see that they're bracing for the pain and the impact of. Thank goodness most of these walls now are padded, but remember, 5-10 years ago, there was chain link fence and no pads, and these guys were just running full speed into them.
Lagares on the run once again. And this one is off the top of the wall. Mercer with a 1-out double. The potential tying run is in scoring position.
Not even Juan Lagares could catch his fastball down the middle. Mercer does a great job staying inside of it, driving the ball to right center. Lagares gives up on it, and he misses a home run by inches. And good job by the fan right there not to reach over, let it hit. 6 more inches, that ball's over the fence, and we have a tie game. And a lot of celebrating by the Pirates, finally scoring runs at home late in the innings. But Pirates will take a double with Jaso coming up. Here's the pinch hitter off the Mets closer.
John Jaso batting for the pitcher Rivero. And a pinch runner gift in Gopay. What a story.
Great story.
He will pinch run for Mercer.
First ever player born in the continent of Africa. So he's not playing for a country. He's playing for a continent.
Right. He basically grew up in a clubhouse. His late mom was a clubhouse attendant for a team in South Africa, the Randburg Mets.
I don't think I've ever heard of them. Actually, I'm sure I've never heard of them. Have you done a game for them, Kenny? I know you've been around a long time, so I figured you might have.
I have not.
Somewhere along the way, you've done a game.
So now in Gopay, pinch running against the New York Mets, trailing by a run. His 9th year in the Pirates organization. Pitch gets away from Darno, and Gopay to third.
And then Gopay's brother also is in the Pittsburgh minor league system.
Right, and Gift acted as his agent.
That's right. So he's not only a player, but he's also an agent. He's a player agent. Reed just yanks his ball. Looks like a slider. Darno tries to do everything he can. Just gets past him. When you're set up away and the pitcher misses it completely across the plate, that's the toughest ball for a catcher to get to. And the Pirates have another opportunity here late in the game with a runner on third and less than 2 outs.
Darno able to block that one after the wild pitch by Addison Reed. So in Gopay now at third. Jaso the pinch hitter. Pirates trail by a run. So again, Pirates have a runner on third with 1 out, as we saw in the 7th inning when they could not get the tying run across. 2-2 on Jaso. Adam Frazier on deck.
The hardest thing to do in this situation as a hitter is to calm down and slow everything down. Jaso right there went after a pitch that was out of his strike zone because he wants to drive in the run so bad. Reed tried the same pitch again a little bit lower, and Jaso was able to lay off. Has there ever been anyone more meant to be a Pirate than John Jaso with that hair? He's got some Johnny Depp hair going in the Pirates of the Caribbean, doesn't he?
He's got the right first name. Jaso, the base hit into left field, tying the game. And Gopay crosses the plate. We are tied at 4. A double, a wild pitch, and then an RBI single off the bat of John Jaso to tie the game in the bottom of the 9th.
Nice piece of hitting by Jaso, doing exactly what you're asked for with a runner on third and the infield in. Just get a ball up that you can get to the outfield.
Strike 1 to Frazier.
Ball up out over the plate. Jaso just kind of sticks his bat out there, and he knows it right away that, hey, look, I tied the game. The bench's reaction is always good when you tie the game in the 9th inning. You get on first, you do your little signals with your friends in the dugout. Everyone's excited. You feel happy, especially as a pinch hitter coming off the bench in that situation off the other team's closer.
Frazier 0 for 4 tonight. A 1-1 from Reed. Now 1-2. Not exactly what Terry Collins had in mind on his 68th birthday.
Everything was going so well for Terry for his birthday. He got his pitcher to the starting pitcher to the 7th inning. He had his main relievers out there, had a lead, and now
base hit into right field. Jaso on his way to third. Pirates with runners on the corners, and now the potential winning run just 90 feet away. Third consecutive base hit for the Pirates. Josh Harrison, 1 for 3, doubled back in the 3rd inning.
Earlier in the game, we were talking about Mariano Rivera and Luis Gonzalez. Do you bring the infield in? Do you leave them back for double plays? The Mets have their infield in here to try to cut off the run of the plate instead of playing back for a possible double play. Obviously, Harrison runs well. That's their thinking.
Harrison 1 for 3 lifetime against Addison Reed. Great job by our entire crew, led by producer Aaron Stoikoff, director John Moore, associate director Jordan Harrison, broadcast associate Sam Younger, Marty Aronoff crunching the numbers along with Mark Seguro. The 1-0 on the ground to the 3rd baseman Reyes. Mets get the out at first. Now 2 away.
Ground ball by Harrison to Jose Reyes. He looks at second first because he's like, hey, we could turn a double play. The runner on third's not going, but then he realizes, oh, that's right, we have the infield in and nobody's at second, so we can't turn a double play to get out of the inning. Instead, he just lofts it over to first to get the out at first and move on to the next hitter, Josh Bell.
Bell 1 for 4. Singleton scored in the 6th inning. Ball 1. Pirates tied the game at the bottom of the 9th. They have runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. And Josh Bell at the plate against the Mets closer Addison Reed. The 1-0 from Reed. In for a strike, 1-1.
So as good of a job as Jaso did getting a ball up to get to the outfield, Josh Harrison in the same inning got a ball down.
Lagares makes the catch, and we are headed to extra innings in Pittsburgh. After the Pirates tied the score, Bell unable to win it. On to the 10th. The Pirates tie the game at the bottom of the 9th. 4 runs, 10 hits for the Mets, 4 runs, 11 hits for the Pirates. Gifton Gope remains in the game at shortstop. He scored the tying run. John Jaso drove him in. Jaso stays in at first base. And the 5th pitcher of the evening for the Pittsburgh Pirates is the 31-year-old left-hander Tony Watson, an all-star back in 2014, his 11th season in the Pirates organization. Facing a former teammate, Neil Walker, leading off for the Mets here in the top of the 10th. Walker 2 home runs last night. He is 1 for 4 in tonight's game. We mentioned his father Tom, pitcher in the major leagues with Montreal, Detroit, St. Louis, and the Angels. Winter ball teammate of Roberto Clemente. Neil grew up right here in Pittsburgh.
Hometown kid.
The last base runner for the Mets, AJ, back in the 5th inning. The last 13 Mets have been retired as Walker lifts this one into left. Frazier makes the catch for out number 1.
For all the good things that the Mets hitters did through the first 4+ innings into the 5th, the Pirates bullpen has completely reversed that with the way they pitched and the way they played defense behind them.
You talk about defense. How about Lagares tonight over the last couple of innings?
He saved the game in the last 2 innings. Granted, it's tied and they gave up the lead in the 9th, but without the catches he's made, we're home right now. They've already raised the Jolly Roger here in Pittsburgh.
Right.
If Juan Lagares isn't jumping all over the fences and making all these plays.
Batting for the first time tonight. He's made a couple of catches up against the wall. First to end the 8th inning against McCutchen. Then Cervelli to start the 9th. And the final out of the 9th inning to send the game into extra innings here in Pittsburgh. Count now 2-1. You look back at the early innings. Although the Mets scored 4 runs over the first 5, they also left 8 men on base over the first 5 innings. In each of the innings in which the Mets scored, the 1st, the 2nd, the 4th, and the 5th, they left 2 base runners on in each of those 4 innings.
So they left runners out there, which you want to always add on runs, add on to keep the pressure on the other team.
And now Lagares with a base hit into left field. So a 1-out base runner for the Mets here in the 10th.
Have a night, Juan Lagares. In 2.5 innings, you're having a great night so far. 3 tremendous plays in center field, and now a single here in the 10th off the other team's closer. Be careful first pitch right here. Cabrera is a notorious first pitch hacker / trying to go deep off you, especially from the right-handed side against a left-handed pitcher.
Cabrera 0 for 4 tonight. Fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. TJ Rivera has come out on deck for the Mets with the pitcher Reed due up next in the 7th spot on the order. Cabrera 1 for 4 lifetime against Watson. Lagares the runner on first with 1 out. Top of the 10th inning, tied at 4 as Watson misses away. 1-1. Fastball in for strike 2.
Good pitch by Watson right there. If there's a place you can throw Cabrera, especially on the right side, is fastballs in and kind of up at his hands. And you see the way he takes that and the frustration. He didn't think it was a strike. He thought it was high, but he also knows that he can't hit that pitch. So the umpire calling it a strike just puts him in a deeper hole.
Polanco makes the catch in right center for out number 2. Here comes the pinch hitter, TJ Rivera, to bat for Addison Reed. One for 7 as a pinch hitter this season.
know that there's a harder job in any sport than pinch hitting off the bench, usually late in the game, usually against a closer, usually against a guy throwing really hard with really good stuff. That's why guys that can do it and can do it for a long time are so valuable. A Lenny Harris type, a guy like that that can come off the bench at any point and not only get a big hit for you, but have the possibility to break one open in the ninth and hit a home run.
Manny Mota prior to Lenny Harris.
That's right. And for some reason, you always remember the guys that could pinch hit and get big hits in big situations.
There's Tyler Pill, up from AAA Las Vegas, has never pitched in the major leagues, up in the Mets pen. There's a pinch single into right field off the bat of TJ Rivera. So the Mets with 2 on and 2 out here in the top of the 10th inning.
And here comes our guy for the cycle again.
That's right.
He'll take a ball right now just to the outfield, base hit to drive in the go-ahead run, but I guarantee you if he hits one in the gap, he's not stopping a second.
5 career triples, 1 this season. As we mentioned earlier, no Mets catcher has ever hit for the cycle. Scott Hairston, the last Met to do it back in April of 2012. So after 14 consecutive Mets had been retired, 2 base hits here in the 10th. Strike 1 to d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud has driven in 2 runs, singled in the 2nd, a home run in the 4th, a double in the 5th inning. Two on, 2 out. Strike 2 to d'Arnaud.
And as you noted, d'Arnaud had the last hit until this inning. In the 5th inning, the Mets hadn't got a hit or a base runner until here in the 10th inning.
Lagares and TJ Rivera with the Met base hits. 0-2 on d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud strikes out on 3 pitches. Middle of the order coming up for the Pirates. Blanco, Freese, and McCutchen in the bottom of the 10th. McCutchen has driven in 3 of the 4 Pirate runs. Ever watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. A look at the Pill family as Tyler Pill takes the mound for the Mets here in the bottom of the 10th inning. His major league debut, his 7th year in the Mets organization. As Gregory Polanco steps in. Polanco 1 for 4 tonight in a 4-4 game. And for more on Tyler and the entire Pill family, down to JP.
Yes, Kenny, that's Mike and Kelly Pill, the proud parents of Tyler Pill and Tyler's wife, Jen, in from California for this game. Tyler's older brother, Brett, played for the Giants in the major leagues, and his father, Mike, who, as we talked about, is here tonight. Mike, in 1977, Kenny, was a second-round draft pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And tonight, his son, Tyler, makes his big league debut in Pittsburgh. Called up yesterday. Began the year without allowing an earned run in 34 1/3 innings with Las Vegas.
Congratulations to the Pill family. They've obviously been through this before with the Brett Pill being in the big leagues at a prior occasion, but it's still a nervous time and an excited time for their family. And to bring the guy in his big league debut in the tie game on the road. And
center field, McGarrett's back on the track. He makes another catch up against the wall. His 3rd in the last 3 innings.
And the Pill family's huge sigh of relief right there. McGarrett's, all he can do is laugh because he's all over the place. He's gonna need a nice ice bath from all the running he's done. And good swing by Polanco, ball out over the plate, goes with it. McGarrett's once again knows right where he is, has his hand out for the wall. The family thought, oh no, his first big league hitter. And the wife, whew, I can relax a little bit.
Now facing David Freese.
Pitchers always know when they've given up a ball that's hit hard. And whew, again, just like his wife. The interesting thing that from Terry Collins today is he's never seen Pill throw a pitch until he brought him into a tie game in the 10th inning.
That's what he told us.
Said he never saw him in spring training, never saw him anywhere, and now here he is pitching in the big leagues for the Mets.
And Pill started this season in Double-A, so that streak as Freese is on his way to second and then heads back. That streak of 34 1/3 started with Binghamton and then continued with Las Vegas. Now up in the big leagues. Allows his first major league hit to a former World Series most valuable player. And now must face a former league MVP. Welcome to the big leagues, Tyler Pill.
Welcome to the big leagues, kid. You get a guy, David Freese, who's obviously had some of the biggest hits in history with the walk-off home runs to win games in World Series, and then, no problem, home, give up a single to him, and now go get the league MVP, who, by the way, has 3 RBIs tonight and a home run.
And McCutchen gets plucked by Pill as his family looks on. So runners on first and second. When we talked to Terry Collins, as you mentioned, he said, I've never seen Pill pitch live, but in watching a lot of video and talking to the pitching coach, Frank Viola, in Las Vegas, and others in the organization, Terry telling us that a comparison is Dylan G, the former Met pitcher,
who had a lot of success for the Mets for a lot of years and won some big games for the Mets over his career. And if that's what Tyler Pill develops into, the Mets will be more than happy.
So first and second, 1 out. Francisco Cervelli.
Hill, not a hard thrower, 89, 90. Trying to locate the ball. Trying to throw it to the corners, not hit the middle of the plate. But he's seen 3 hitters. One guy hit a ball to the wall. The center fielder made a great play. One guy got a base hit, and the other guy stuck in the back.
Bill to Cervelli, fouls it off. Pirates have had 10 base runners over the last 4 and a third. McCutchen thrown out at the plate to end the 6th inning. We've also seen some brilliant catches by Lagares, who did not enter the game until the bottom of the 8th. And how about Clint Hurdle's bullpen? 5 scoreless innings. The 1-1 to Cervelli, in for strike 2.
Clint told us before the game that his bullpen has all been throwing the ball well. Rivero's numbers obviously indicate that. Nicasio's numbers indicate that. And Tony Watson, he has more trust in him than anybody, he said out there. So they've all done what they've been asked to do, along with LeBlanc. They've kept him in the game, given him an opportunity to come back and not only tie the game in the 9th, but have an opportunity here to win it in the bottom of the 10th with Cervelli and 2 guys on.
A 1-2 from Tyler Pill. Fouled back by Cervelli. Pill retired Polanco to start the inning. On the catch up against the wall by Lagares. A single to right off the bat of Freese, and then he hit McCutchen in the back with a pitch. So 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Tyler Pill in his major league debut.
Always find it interesting guys' debuts. They either go really well or really poorly. It never seems like there's a middle of the road. It's one way or the other. And I don't know why that is or why that happens.
We mentioned earlier you made your debut against manager Terry Collins in '98, and then you told me during a commercial break earlier your last major league game was against Terry Collins as well last year.
They were. So I bookended Terry Collins at the beginning of my career and at the end of my career. He was the manager. That's a testament to him and all the managerial opportunity he's been given and the job he's done in order to stick around that long.
So he's the one who forced you out of the game.
That's right. It was all his fault.
The 1-2 to Cervelli. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
There was some unfamiliarity right there with Darno, the way he caught that ball and the way he kind of looked at his glove like, okay, I didn't know exactly what that pitch was going to do, so I'm a little bit surprised. I'm not sure that Darno has probably ever caught. I know he talked to Tyler Pill and said, hey, what do you have? But until you actually catch a guy and in a game, in a big situation, you just don't know how the ball is going to move and how you're going to react to the way it moves.
The 2-2. Cervelli held off, full count with Gift and Gopay waiting on deck.
And on that pitch, same thing with Darno. He just didn't know it was a breaking ball, it was a curve ball. He didn't know the break. He didn't know how much it was going to move, so he moved his body a little bit more than normal. The pitch was outside, but because he doesn't know in the unfamiliarity, he doesn't know exactly how to frame it or how to hold it or where it's going to end up.
Time called by the home plate umpire, Blazer. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up to Cervelli from Tyler Pill. With the runners on the move, Cervelli fouls it back.
Clint Hurdle has the utmost confidence that Francisco Cervelli is going to put the ball in play here. Not the greatest speed in the world and Freese on second base, but he also wants to stay out of the double play, so he puts the runners in motion. It also helps Freese get a head start if Cervelli does get a base hit, because Lagares has a good arm, Jay Bruce has a good arm out in the outfield in order to throw him out if there is a base hit. So the random baseballer question today, Kenny, is why is that not a balk? If the definition of a balk is trying to deceive the base runner, what else are you trying to accomplish there other than deceive the base runner with the inside move at second base?
That question from the ex-catcher. Ball 4 to Cervelli. Bases loaded. Here at the bottom of the 10th inning. So Pill, after retiring the first batter he faced, has allowed a base hit. Hit McCutchen and now walks Cervelli.
Just misses in. Good call by Corey Blazer. Pill family wanted it. Oh. Family's heart's beating through their chest right now because they want him to get out of this inning.
Conference on the mound with the bases loaded, 1 out. In a 4-4 game, bottom of the 10th inning in Pittsburgh. There's Freeze. Freeze representing the potential winning run. Gift and Gope scored the tying run as a pinch runner in the bottom of the 9th. The first African-born major league player in history. He has driven in 6 runs this season for the Pirates. Infield in. Freeze takes his lead off third.
The Pirates love Ngope in the field. They say he can go get him better than anybody. But if he's had one hiccup so far in his short major league career, it's been making contact. And all he needs to do here is make contact to get the winning run home.
Strike 1.
And in big situations, the first pitch, more times than not, is the best pitch you're going to get. The pitcher doesn't want to fall behind. So what do? They throw a nice fastball, and unfortunately for Gift, he took it, and now he's behind the count 0-1.
Hill delivers. Popped up. Shallow right. 2 away.
Jay Bruce with a tremendous running catch. Didn't catch it clean, kind of caught it off his chest, sternum area. Bobbled a little bit. Tough play running in at full speed, though.
Here comes Josh Edgin from the Mets bullpen. Tyler Pill in his major league debut. There's his family. Leaves with the bases loaded and 2 out in the bottom of the 10th inning. 2 outs, bottom of the 10th inning. Josh Edgin, the 6th Mets relief pitcher tonight after the starter Zach Wheeler went 6 innings. Facing John Jaso, whose base hit in the bottom of the 9th tied the game at 4. Bases loaded for the Pirates with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th. David Freese takes his lead off third. That pitch is blocked by Darno. Ball 2.
And the first 2 pitches by Edgin haven't exactly been close here. Darno dove to his right on the first one and then dove to his left on the second one. So I cannot see a scenario right here where John Jaso swings at the 2-0 pitch.
The 2-0 from Edgin, in for a called strike, 2-1.
And Jaso was taken all the way after seeing the first 2 pitches and him not having the best numbers against left-handed pitching and not having seen a lot of left-handed pitching. After the first 2 pitches are as bad as the first 2 from Edgin, as a hitter, you're like, okay, I'll give him 1. Maybe he'll throw it and be 3-0, and then I can take 2.
2-2. So Edgin has worked his way back after falling behind 2-0.
And for some reason, when a relief pitcher comes in, until they throw that first strike, they're always a little bit on edge.
Or edging.
Well, he beat me to it. But then you see he throws the first strike, and he comes back with another quality strike to get back in the count, make it 2-2, and now put Jaso in the hole.
The 2-2 from Edgin. Another foul. Takes it back to the 9th with the Pirates trailing by a run.
Just get it to the outfield. That's all he was trying to do. Infield in, runner on third, tying run on third. Just get a ball up and get it to the outfield and score the tying run and give the bench high five from first base.
Full count. Payoff pitch from Edgin. Jaso fouls it back.
I'm actually surprised he swung right there. Sometimes you'll see a hitter in a big situation just statue him, take him, hope he throws a ball, but Jaso credit, got a pitch to hit and fouled it off.
Eighth pitch of the at-bat from Edgin, another foul. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 10th, 4-4 game. There's Lagares, who's made some great plays in center for the Mets over the last 3 innings. Nowhere to put John Jaso. Payoff pitch from Edgin. Jaso into right field, and that will do it. Jaso ties the game in the bottom of the 9th, wins it in the bottom of the 10th for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates never had a lead tonight until now.
Until the most important time in the game. They have a lead when everyone's celebrating and the game's over. That's the only thing that matters. And Jaso gets to show off his hair.
So on Terry Collins' 68th birthday, tough loss for the Mets, who had the lead in the bottom of the 9th. Tyler Pill suffers the defeat in his first major league appearance after the Mets won the series opener 8-1 last night. Pirates come back tonight 5-4. Time for the prevailing moment of the game, sponsored by the Hartford. John Jaso with a game-winning hit, driving in David Freese after Jaso drove in Gift and Gope to tie the game in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Coming off the bench, 2 huge hits for the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2 innings, knocking in not only the tying run but also the go-ahead run, and then everyone gets to celebrate in Bucko Land. Great effort by Jay Bruce. Everything he had, they had him playing over in the gap. Jaso hooked the ball just over his head.
So the Pirates win it 5-4. John Jaso is with JP. Look out, the fake from Andrew McCutchen.
We have some company here. Andrew McCutchen, a very gentle dousing there of John Jaso. John, congratulations. How about the timing for your first hit off a lefty all season long?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I was going to get one, it might as well have been there. I think we played enough extra inning games. Gosh, that series in Atlanta was tough, but everybody did such a great job tonight. I mean, we were hitting the ball so hard, and they were just getting caught, and so it was great to come out with a win.
John, back in the 9th inning, how did you prepare yourself for that moment? You're sitting for 8 innings, and a huge tying hit there for your club in the 9th inning.
I kind of prepare myself by kind of relaxing. I mean, you don't want to get too amped up, or at least I don't. So I kind of just chill and get in there and kind of treat it like it's my first or second AB of the game, just so I don't try and do too much. And it was a great job right there with base running, getting on base, and you know, being there on third, so I can just kind of fillet one over the infielders. And so Mercer and Gift set that up really nicely. Yeah.
So Andrew McCutchen, huge game for him tonight. What did he show to your club and all of baseball with his swings tonight?
I think more importantly above his swings is just his determination. You know, there's a lot of things that can get you down in this game. You know, there's all the talk about him moving from third to sixth, and you know, a lot of guys that would hurt and they would start just slacking off or whatever. But this game means so much to him. The city means so much to him that he keeps competing. He keeps going out there and trying to be better. And that says more than any of the at-bats that he had today.
Does anyone in baseball have better hair than you?
No. No, I don't know. There's probably a few out there.
Thanks, John.
All right.
Kenny, back to you.
I think JP is better hair. So John Jaso, the hero, he had been 0 for 10 against left-handed pitching up until that game winner moments ago off Josh Edgin. Pirates win it 5-4. They've split the first 2 games of this series with the Mets. For AJ and JP and our entire crew, this is Kenny Albert. Coming up, we'll send it back to the studio with Kevin and Eric right after these messages.